Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host.
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Branch.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Yeah. Well, let's share it.
That one, eh?
It smells like baby oil.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yuck.
So, let's start because you just told us, and that's tripped me out already, that it's been 1 year to the day.
Exactly.
Yep.
a year.
Not planned
Yep.
that you were on this podcast.
Crazy, hey?
That's so crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a kind of a nice little, what would you call that? It's serendipitous, a synchronicity.
Yes, that's the word.
Yeah, you're meant to be on today.
Yep.
You got to probably give Delby some news on something, I guess.
Maybe.
But so the way I think we can begin
Yeah.
is if anyone hasn't listened to your previous episode, maybe go back and listen because
Yeah.
you fucking nailed a lot of the stuff. So anyone will be familiar with the things that you did nail, like you know who my granddad's name was and stuff like that. So a couple of things, and I want to ask about because
Sure.
one, you said I needed to accept a job in New Zealand if I was offered it. I
Yeah.
have. Me and Delby are going to New Zealand next year, so that was
That's exciting.
of all the places that they could
Yep.
offer
Yeah,
work.
it's just by chance because
Yeah.
Max Shane, who's one of my best mates, I do a show with him.
Yep.
I'm going to be his celebrant, and his partner's from New Zealand, and they're going to get married there. So they
Yeah.
were asking me like about videographers for weddings because I'm a marriage celebrant as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you could just ask Branchy.
Yeah.
He won't, he don't.
Cool.
And like Max Shane edits videos. So I was like, he doesn't like editing, but he'll film it for you.
Yeah.
And then.
So I generally I don't even accept them anymore, not even to
Yeah.
film them. I accepted one 2 years ago because it was in Italy. I was like, yeah, okay.
Tutto bene.
Okay, you're going to pay for my flights and accommodation, your bits, okay? And the same with this.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
It's just like, pay for your flights and accommodation, come over, film it. You don't have to edit it. I was like,
Done.
she said New Zealand.
That's amazing.
So,
Is that sort of like almost self-fulfilling prophecy though? Because
Yeah.
if you hadn't mentioned it,
yeah, but
would you have taken it?
would I have? Well, that's correct.
You know?
But also, who would offer me a job in New Zealand?
Yeah. So
That's also quite random.
the reason why your loved ones will talk about things before they happen is not because you have to do them when those opportunities come up, but it's just to show us like they're always there with us.
Yeah.
But the other thing you'll probably find for the both of you is that when you're there, there'll be another opportunity or you'll meet someone
Yeah.
who will unlock something else.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I assumed as much, something
Yeah.
similar to that. That whole trip actually ends up going through Melbourne as well. On the way back
Cool.
through, we're going
Yeah.
hopefully to a potential sponsor as well. We're going to hang out
See?
with.
So it'll be
So,
happening
yeah.
for you.
And also, you know, that's where my dad was born.
Yeah.
I haven't been back for a while, so be exciting to go back. But so that very cool. Number two, and I want to know what you were thinking about this because I felt reservations from you
Yeah.
when you were saying that.
Yeah.
We're talking about my dog,
Yeah.
and you brought him up. You said there's a black dog coming through. Blah blah blah. You asked if he was sick, and I did say, well, actually, we were thinking of taking him to the vet. You know,
Yeah.
a couple of things we've seen lately, and then you didn't say anything was wrong. You just sort of pulled back, and I felt a little bit like, and
Yeah.
you went, well, I'm not going to give tell you anything about the dog or what's happening, but when one day he does pass, he will be met with love by your granddad.
Yeah.
And that was nice. And then it was like 2 or 3 months later, I had to put him down because he was riddled with cancer.
Can I ask you, was that around February?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in Adelaide Fringe.
Yeah, so it was.
Because he's here and he was just showing me a big number 2.
What up, Blue?
Oh, yeah, my boy Blue. That's
Yeah.
oh, wow. Okay, cool. So what was your thoughts there? That's just what
Sure.
I'm more. So
Yeah.
were you just making sure you didn't say, hey, he's going to die?
Yeah. So, no. So the way that I work, whether I'm connecting to loved ones as in people or to animals, they will never talk about when they're going to pass, okay?
Right.
Because I don't think it's helpful for us as the living
Yeah.
to know that. So I'm not ever showing that. However, they will tell me that they're unwell, or your loved ones will,
No, it's good. It's all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
or your loved ones will try to indicate that no matter what's coming up, that your dog will be okay. Okay. And that he would be met with love, because that's our greatest fear, is that this beautiful animal that has loved us and healed us and, you know, been through a major part of our life is all of a sudden going to be without that on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite a good reflection. That whole thing was
Yeah.
like he was like that partner through that whole time, through a
Yes.
challenging time in my life. And
Yeah.
then it felt like his role as my
Yeah.
little buddy was done. He'd seen me through and he
Yeah.
was off. That's how it felt. So it was quite, and that was
Yeah.
interesting because you did say that in the, there was a couple other things I can't remember. I should have written these down.
I just wanted to ask you as well, sorry, just while we're on the topic of Blue, just because it's coming through and while we're here, 2 things. Are you thinking about a tattoo for him?
No, I hadn't been. No,
You are now.
no.
It's okay. So what's the memorial or something in his memory?
Oh,
'Cause-
yeah. That I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
Okay. So what's that? Because he's talking about a memorial in his memory, but I was thinking of a tattoo.
Okay, so we drew on rocks
Okay.
his name, and we put them,
Yeah.
scattered them around the lake. We still got his ashes, and we haven't
Yeah.
spread them yet, and I didn't know
Perfect.
what to do.
Okay. Well, there's
What
no rush.
What does Blue want?
We've got a little memorial thing in the house.
Yeah.
It's a little thing there with his ashes sitting in front of a picture of him, and I've got his collar and lead
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
He would never tell you what to do because it doesn't concern him anymore because
Yeah.
he's not connected to that physical body.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for us to do. So you can do whatever you feel is right,
Yeah.
and there's no rush.
Yeah, I want to take him down the dog beach
Nice.
on a nice afternoon where it's not. We live in
Yeah.
Perth. I don't
When
want
you
to
don't
Yeah.
just throw it out until it gets
like
back in
my
your face.
face. So a nice afternoon where there's a nice
Well,
down the sunset.
I
down the
guess,
beach.
Yeah.
do you want me to ask questions or are you going to keep going?
No.
Just so I don't forget it.
Yeah.
With psychic mediumship,
Yeah.
what's the difference between an animal and a
Yeah.
human? Because there's so many different
Yeah.
theories like that our soul evolves as different. We come back as different people and reincarnations. Is an animal soul different to a human soul? Is it a soul that's at a different level? Is there... I've always thought how do mediums, and I think I've answered my own question, but like how do mediums communicate with a dog that's never spoke English?
Yep.
Or if you're going to communicate with a Spanish relative that doesn't speak English, is it all telekinetic? Is it signs? Is it really clear? How are you getting stuff from a dog's soul as opposed to a human soul, and are they the same?
That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
So the way that I look at this, and I've read lots of books that, and some of them state, as you said, that perhaps we actually start out as an animal and then, we have lives and we progress into people. Personally, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think there's anything wrong if that feels right for you. But for me, I don't think that we have to progress from an animal to a person.
Yeah.
How it feels to me when I connect is that if people are on this level, then pets and things are up here.
Yeah.
So they actually have to me a higher vibration, and that's the unconditional love.
Right.
That's why they impact us so much, because for a lot of people, they are our only connection to or experience with unconditional love.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think it's like, one is higher than the other in terms of like, they'll have more lives, or I'm going to come back as a cat or a dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't really resonate with that, but I can certainly feel that energetically there is a shift here.
Yep.
And in terms of communication, that's a great question, because the first time that I connected with a pet, it blew my mind as well.
Yeah.
Because I was being shown information of this pet as it came through, and they would talk about who they were or their connection to this person and the problems in their body, and then the information around my client as well, which was all being validated. And it happens through me. So at the time I'm thinking, I'm talking to a dog. This is blowing my mind as well.
Yeah.
Okay. But remember, it's energy.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I can connect with people who never spoke English.
Yeah.
Because they use my brain like a library.
Right.
Okay. So I know
Kind of like Interstellar, where he's pushing the books off
Yeah.
because he's finding his way to communicate.
Yeah.
They're finding the thing that resonates with you to
Yes.
communicate to me.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for example, when she was coming up with my name, they showed
Yeah.
her Henry the Octopus,
Yeah.
which was her daughter, or
Yes.
watched The Wiggles, so
Yeah.
showed her Henry.
Wow.
And, then
Yeah.
and when it was my nana,
Yeah.
didn't even know it was my nana. She said they were showing you your nana,
Yeah.
and her nana's name was Jean. She's like,
Yeah.
is this lady's name Jean?
Wow.
Yeah.
So your skill comes in refining what that actual what it is, because it could be,
Yeah.
this is an older lady because it's your nana, or it could be a gene.
Yep.
And you got to figure that out. That's where your skill comes in, or your
So
intuition.
the way that it kind of feels to me is that I will meditate to kind of clear my channel, right? And so for me, that's like TJ stepping out of the picture.
Yep.
And then I invite anyone who chooses to come through, and they will show me information through all of my senses, okay? The tricky part and the difference between a good medium and a shit one is the refining of that skill. We have a split second to interpret the information, whether that be through an image, a smell, a memory, a feeling, because they use all of my senses before my own logical mind will change that.
Right.
Okay?
And sorry about the smell block here.
No, that's
I've got Sauvage on. It's too strong.
That's absolutely fine. So,
Yeah.
for example, and I'm only human, so I'll get things wrong, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm a bad medium. What it means is that my field of reference was a bit off, okay? So that's what happened with the tattoos. He was talking about this memory, right? And my logical mind went tattoo, but it was actually to do with what was up in the house.
Right.
Okay, with the picture of him.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just a field of reference, shift.
Yeah.
For example, they will show me numbers and things. If they show me a 5, that could be the 5th month or the 5th day or 5 years.
Yeah.
Lots of different things that it can be. And so it's just about the refining of that process.
Yeah. Now, I guess that's where the Ricky Gervais thing comes in. It's like, if it's 5 years, just say fucking 5 years. Like, why isn't the spirit going 5 years? And it's because it's not communicating in an English sentence. Is that?
But it's also, to keep the ego of the medium in check,
Yep.
Yeah.
because we have to raise our vibe up and they come down to meet us kind of halfway.
Yeah.
I mean, they work bloody hard to get the information to us,
Yeah.
and they will give it in the best possible way. The interesting thing is that if I say something and it's not understood or whatever, it'll come around again.
Right.
And they'll change it.
Yeah.
So I can get it,
Yeah.
or so the other person can get it,
Yeah.
or the person will leave the reading and then call their mum and they'll be like, oh, yep, it was this, and then it makes sense.
Yeah. Because the skeptics would be like, oh, they're just changing their mind, or they're like, oh, well, they didn't know, so they're using a different tact.
Yeah.
And I guess like there's probably the charlatans in the game that would try and do that.
Sure.
And there's other people that, like yourself, seem extremely genuine and are just like, well, it is what it is, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So
And I think something that I have learned in this work is that it will resonate with some people and not others, And if someone, I've read for lots of kind of like not necessarily closed-minded people, but people that weren't overly keen, or people that were really, like religious, and then came across this work and wanted to experience that. And all I say is, I'm going to present the information and you can choose what you do with that, I'm not here to convince, I'm not here to prove, I'm not interested in that. I'm just here to, as I said, pass on the information.
Yeah.
And then what they do with that piece of information is completely up to them,
yeah.
Were you
I've got so many questions.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, we probably need a second episode.
Well, yeah. We can get.
Yeah.
I think that we
Yeah.
can do a lot of that today because, again, people, if you haven't listened, go back and listen because you've nailed a few other things. You even actually predicted. Well, not you predicted. You were.
Yeah, because the prediction it's not meant to be a prediction, is it? It's more like like you said earlier, a validation that there's people with you. Because
Yep.
when something occurs, you go, oh,
Yeah.
Nana said
Yeah.
this was going to be there.
Yes.
So you're like, fuck, they're
Correct.
actually there.
Yes.
Well,
But
even-
is that ego on a spirit's behalf going, haha, I told you I'm still here?
No, that's how they prove to our logical mind that it was them all along.
Yeah.
Because if we sit here today and they're like, hey, tomorrow you're going to see blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
We haven't happened yet. We're like, oh, that could be, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. Then it happens and you go,
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Because you were able to say the challenges that
Yeah.
I'd been going through for a few years, and then
Yeah.
that they were applauding, and they were like, "You did really well. Well
Yeah.
done. Good on you for taking." You predicted that, or you didn't know. You talked about taking the leap with this, and I'd said, well, literally a couple of weeks ago, I'd said I'm getting rid of everything else and just doing this. But then you also did say that that's it, done. You're onwards and upwards. And within a couple of months, we spiked. We've got an extra 130,000 followers.
That's incredible.
Everything's exploded since then. You did say it was going to be onwards and upwards from there.
Yeah.
So that seems to have been a pretty accurate thing you said as well.
awesome.
Yeah, as long as we haven't been ghost banned or shadow banned by Instagram.
No.
YouTube.
Well, it's been the opposite. I think we gained 130,000 this year.
That's
Wow.
wild.
Yeah, and we gained 40,000 in the last 4 weeks or something on
Wow.
YouTube.
If only we could
Yeah.
get $1 per,
Yeah,
per
right.
person.
We're getting fucking. We're
But
starting to.
I think, you know, there's this whole energy of this year, though, is that so many people are searching for more, you know, and the whole energy of this year, it's shaken a lot of us up, right? And it's been quite a challenging year in lots of different ways, because I kind of look at the energy of this year like a mirror when it showed us, hey, this is not aligned to you,
Yes.
right? Whether this is what can be in any part of your life, and then obviously we have the choice to ignore or to act on that. When we choose to act, which hopefully we choose to do, which isn't necessarily the easiest option, but it's always going to be the right one, then we go searching for more. And that's where, you know, people like you guys who talk about things and they present a different opinion and they actually give people the opportunity to learn and to hear and to grow without a bias.
Yeah.
That's why, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing without bias, I feel like 2025 is more than ever before really trying to separate us
Yes.
and look at every angle possible from a bias
Yeah.
that you have to join us or you think like we do. And
There's a huge polarity.
yeah,
And do you think it's what I've seen is an exhaustion of that? Everyone's going, I'm done.
Yeah.
yeah, I
don't
feel
care.
tired of it.
Yeah, I'm just done. And then they maybe that's by design because
Yeah.
it feels like that's actually gone, well, now there's less division because no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
There is polarity
Yeah.
massively.
But I think the other thing is that people are also becoming aware of what they're actually exposed to and the effect that that has, especially because we're all on this massive personal journey, right? And so they realise, well, hey, when I listen to this person chat, I feel really down, I feel really tired, I feel really yuck.
Yeah.
When I expose myself to the other end of the spectrum, it encourages me to think. It encourages me to be, you know, energized and open-minded. So it's also the whole energy, because remember, everything is energy.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting like real peaks when the
'cause I've
P
turned
word.
her up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like when
It'll level
TJ's
out.
doing P's and that, it's like
It'll
going silent.
Nah,
Okay.
it's all good. It'll
All
level
right.
out.
Or it could be a message.
No.
Go for a P.
No, it's just your ADD kicking in. So, but
It's funny that you mentioned that, like when people listen, they feel energized or they don't
Yeah.
like it. I bumped into Brick at Matt Martinovich's
Yeah.
old man's funeral.
Yeah.
And Brick's just like, mate, I love your podcast. I actually watch it all on YouTube. I watch it.
I
I'm
love
like,
Brick.
"Hey, cheers,
He's good."
bro. He goes, no, honestly. And he kept telling me like 4 or 5 times, no, I really like it, bro. I'm like,
Sounds exactly
"Thanks,
like
bro."
Brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I like about this. Like this pod in there was a period where I felt like we were going too far one way when
Yeah.
I spoke to you about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
And there was kind of almost like a point where I was like, well, fuck, I might just let Branchy do it. I'll go do something else. And then, you know, we've come back together. And I really enjoy coming here and having a chat with people that we're not trying to force anything down
Yeah.
people's throats.
Yeah, it's just
Like
been
we'll have an
good.
opinion,
Yeah.
but also like whatever, like have a listen, learn something new.
Yeah.
And it's been really enjoyable.
It's
hey?
been, I think, the biggest change has been just the authenticness change, not holding back anything. I was always afraid. I don't know about you, but I was always afraid of leaning
Israel.
into the spirit. I'm still afraid of Israel. Tell me. I was always afraid of throwing, especially like I'd consider my mates and their opinions.
Yes.
Like if I start putting my spiritual side out, for lack of a better word, same with Delby, like you'd feel like your mates are going to take the piss out of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
In
It's
the
been
end,
the opposite.
Yeah, in the end, people have gone,
Yeah.
no, I think like that, and it's exploded the podcast because
Yeah.
of that. And I think it's the authenticness of that, and not necessarily we're the best at describing it. But hearing
Yeah.
two guys who really are probably just trying to figure it out themselves
Yeah.
go through that publicly, I think it's kind of
Yeah,
resonating
'cause
with people.
Spirituality, I'll put it in air quotes because like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
I guess the thing that changed my life, like when I was 23, and I've said it numerous times on the pod, is the book Journey of Souls. Have you read that? So Journey of Souls was given to me when I moved to London and was living with a mate for a couple of weeks, and he gave me the book and he's like, this changed my life.
yeah,
And I had a read of it. And essentially like the message I got from that, it was similar to, I guess, Boris Walters, who
Yeah.
is our most listened to ep, I think. He
All 3 episodes.
really,
wow,
Yeah.
so he just helps people like almost like a counselor / psychologist.
Yep, I know
And then,
about
yeah,
past life stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
so then used hypnosis, and he accidentally
Stumbled into it, yeah.
Yeah.
into someone super conscious. Exact same story of this psychiatrist accidentally got into the superconscious and was speaking directly to the soul, and the past life was telling him things that this person couldn't possibly have known. And then the journey goes from there. And it was talking about, you know, the thing that really helped me the most out of that was, it talks about the afterlife, what we do as a soul. We're here, we choose this body, we choose this life to reincarnate so our soul can progress forward.
Yeah.
That book suggests that animal souls and human souls are different as well. We're not actually going through each one, which I tend to believe, like a human's not going to go be a dog again. But the thing that really resonated was, no matter how terrible something is in your life, no matter how bad it happens to you, there's going to be something down the track that will be a positive because of that negative. Like, if this negative thing doesn't happen, then this thing down the track. And that fucking saved me a whole ton of heartache and a whole ton of like grief and poor me and pity. So from there, that sort of spiked my journey into spirituality, I guess. And then I learnt more about, you know, what happens when we die. But it's so crazy. I'm just, my takeaway was, this Journey of Soul book says something happens with our soul when we die. This other person in Switzerland writes a book and they say the exact same thing, and they've got no reason to collude. And this other person in Argentina writes a book and it's translated. They say the exact same thing. There's all these common threads, which I guess you can pick with religion as well. So where I'm coming back to is, as a medium, what's your interpretation of the soul and reincarnation, and what have you been shown? Yeah, because that's like what we ended up bonding over. We share with our listeners, and now I've got a chance to ask someone that's like in the know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to touch on as well, so you said about, you know, like reading the book and how as a soul, obviously we come here and we choose our lessons and different things. And I actually had like this amazing download the other day that I think you'll really like as well. And they said none of the lessons that our soul chose are too hard for us to overcome. We actually have all of the skills and all of the knowledge and everything that we could possibly need to overcome them, even if in the minute you think, oh, this is a lot.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
Yeah.
I really liked that. But in terms of, so shall we talk about what happens when you pass?
Yeah.
Sure. So my experience with this is pretty interesting because I'm also a registered nurse. So I come from the science world, right? And I love science. I'll never be someone who would kind of turn my back on that. And so I was actually working in palliative care.
Oh, very similar to my mum.
Yeah. And this was my first experience connecting to someone that wasn't my own family because I'd connect to my family who had passed pretty often.
Right.
But it felt so natural and normal and everything. I didn't really consider it to be mediumship. I know that sounds nuts.
Yeah.
But
were you like a kid or an adult when that?
Yeah, so my nana passed when I was about 14.
Yeah.
That was a huge moment in my life because she was more like a mum to me. And she came through for me from the minute that she passed, and she looked healthy, she looked well. And then she'd just pop up anytime I had something major on just to say, hey, you know, like you got this. Or So it was never like taking over my life, but it was just literally love, and it would just, you know, pop up from time to time. I had another experience in COVID times actually. I was living up in Broome, and my uncle in New Zealand was really unwell. And I came home from a nursing shift. I laid on the bed. I still had on my nursing, the outfit and stuff. And I thought, I just want to meditate and try and connect with him, which was interesting because at that point I wasn't a big meditator. I didn't really know how to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I laid on the bed, closed my eyes, and I thought, I'm just going to think of him. I'm just going to try and picture him.
Yeah.
And with my eyes still closed, I could suddenly see the whole room as if my eyes were open. And I'm like experiencing this thinking, this is different, okay. And then he walks past the bed and sits beside me. And I was in that meditation for 2 hours.
Fucking
okay.
Yeah, all right.
But it felt like 10 minutes.
Interstellar.
Yep. And in this meditation, we talked about life because I was really close with him as well, right? And, you know, he basically gave me a chance to say goodbye, you know, and we said our thank yous and our I love yous and all of those things. And then he looked to his right and he said, oh, my mum and my dad are there and, you know, my dog's there. And I said, well, maybe you should go and chat with them. And he was gone. And I called my mum in New Zealand and I said, this was mind-blowing. Like, what the heck is this? And she said, he just passed away.
Wow.
And that was in New Zealand.
That's a goosebumper.
And I was in Broome. So that was another experience of, okay, there has to be some aspect of the soul being able to
Astral travel.
travel to different people or to different places. And it's really interesting because my journey to this point, I've always said, if you want me to believe something, show me. Okay. And so that was a really pivotal moment because that made me go, okay, something about that is interesting here.
Yeah.
And then
the fact that you never meditated and you just decided to sit down and do it.
yeah. And there was no process. It was just, right, I'm just going to lay here and think of him. And it was profound. And so obviously what was happening was at that point in New Zealand, which I obviously didn't know, he was transitioning, he was passing. So his soul in that moment had left his physical body or was in the process of, and he came to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Which was just amazing. And that's why I'm so grateful for my family because they've been my greatest teachers because it's not scary when you communicate with them. You know, and they were always so comforting. So then the palliative care stuff came on board pretty intense after that point. And that was the first time, as I said, I saw people who weren't my family. And I was in my early 20s at this point and never really spent much time thinking about the afterlife or death or anything like this. And so, I would be nursing a patient and then would be very aware of their family coming in and would see them. And
like where you're awake?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I would actually
So visibly in front of you.
Yep. So I would be nursing them, and they would physically show up around this person, around their point of passing.
And did they know that you could see them?
Yep.
Right.
Wow.
And are they like, what up? We're just here to collect Frank?
No, they just like there was an acknowledgement, but it wasn't about me.
Yeah, yeah.
It was about the most beautiful reunion of love, and I could see when my patient's soul would leave their body and join their loved ones.
What does that look like?
The greatest reunion of love. If you think about, right, if you've lost someone 40 or 50 years ago and you've lived this whole life and you've been missing them and trying to heal from the grief, and then all of a sudden you are released from whatever it is that's causing your passing, whether that be old age or, so you actually physically feel incredible as well. And then you're met with love from the people who you have known throughout your whole life, all of the animals, everything.
Yeah.
It's the greatest reunion. And I have a saying, our greatest loss is their greatest reunion.
Yeah.
And the other thing that would be worth mentioning here that is probably one of my most asked questions is that time does not impact that love or that connection.
Yeah, because time's not linear.
Yeah. Well, the way that they experience time is not the same as us, and I don't have all the answers on that, and I can't sit here and go 2 minutes here is 10 minutes there.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But the thing that I do know is that no amount of time impacts that eternal connection of love. So whether you lose a parent when you're 5 years old and you pass when you're 90, they will still be there to meet you because we have this innate fear that they're going to bugger off and not be there when we need them, okay? But they will always be there. No circumstance or time could ever change that.
Even if you had a shit relationship with them in a human form?
Even more so.
Because how's that reconcile itself?
So if we talk about the process of passing, this will help to explain all of that. So no matter how we pass, whether that be through old age or through car crash or through anything, okay, no matter how we pass, there will always be people around us in terms of our loved ones, in terms of our guides, which you've probably heard of that, that we all have guides.
Yep.
I think we talked about that last time. But we will always be surrounded by love, okay? No matter how we pass the circumstance, who we are or where we are, that is a given. And the reason why that happens is because our loved ones are there to form almost like an energetic bridge, okay, between where we are and where they are.
Just so you don't freak out when you're dead and you're like, fuck,
well,
where am I?
Yes, but, but also just to explain hey, this is what's happened and we're here and it's about the whole energy shift as well. And the way that I explain that is just tuning a radio. So they are where we are, they're not on a far off land, but it's a different frequency. And it's almost like their frequency is overlaid on ours.
Right.
We just can't see that.
Yeah. Now,
unless you raise your vibration.
That links in exactly with what all the readings that I've.
Yeah.
Everything soul, you're met by people that you love, and then you move on to a reviewing room, and then you go back to source, and then sort of start all over again.
And so let's say in the case of a car crash, okay? So unfortunately our soul has chosen that as our way to exit this, like this world or that life. And so a second before the impact happens, that soul will leave the body. They will see their loved ones. So they also don't physically experience that passing, okay? And when I asked why that is, they said, well, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we all receive a lot of love and healing, in the afterlife. But why experience that if you don't need to? Okay? So we are always going to be met with them. And then from that point, as you said, when we are ready as a soul to then review our life, okay? And this is where I think a lot of people get scared because they think, well, I'm not a perfect person. Am I going to be pulled over the hot rocks for every single mistake? No. Because we're not expected to be perfect. We're expected to learn. Earth is it's just a school for souls. It's just where we come to learn. And so we, in this review process, and however you want to think about that, right? Some people talk about it like a TV screen where you watch your life back, or some people say you read a book about it. There is a reflection process, if I just put it that way.
Yep.
And our loved ones support us through this because it is a lot to see everything that we've done from birth to death. But we also understand our impact on others and how they impacted us. So you asked about, say in the circumstance of tough relationships or people that have really bloody hurt you, okay? They can often be our greatest teachers. It's not a nice experience. But they are in our life for a reason, okay? And they will reunite with us as well. However, in this review process, as I said, we understand our impact on the people around us, positive and negative, okay? It's like, cool, you helped this person, didn't quite manage that situation so well, and so you can understand that. And that's important because then when these people come through in readings, what I have seen, is that it's so normal to have like a hesitation on your behalf of, well, this person was a real asshole to me. Are they going to come through and continue to do that? No, because they have an understanding of what that felt like for you now.
Yeah.
And that's where the most profound readings and messages happen, because ultimately they come through to release us of that like burden of their mistake.
Right.
Okay. So yes, they will come through. Yes, they will have the personality that we remember. But no, they will not continue to cause harm or anything
Is it
like
that human aspect or that will or that just being encased in a human body? And, if someone's, let's say someone has a mental illness and they've made your life extremely difficult, maybe maybe they've acted maliciously or maybe they have no idea that that's what they're doing. When they pass, are they freed from that human ego side of things?
Yes.
And it's just pure love?
Because the ego plays a really big part of it for all of us, right? And we all need to overcome that. But basically, as I said, they'll come through to acknowledge what happened or what was said or the harm that was caused. That's a major thing in itself because, often people feel that they were misunderstood, that they never got some understanding. Then they'll usually explain like why they acted that way or the reason why they couldn't understand or they couldn't verbalise, whether that be drugs or alcohol or ego or, whatever. Then they will say that I'm sorry's and that I love yous. Okay.
And that would be based off a human limiting self-beliefs and destructive patterns. And we're just a product of the way we grow up and whatnot. So,
100%.
But then there's the flip side. It's like, well, didn't that soul choose to do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then your soul chose to be in the relationship with that
Yeah.
soul.
Is there a choice between interactive souls?
Yes.
Like I'm choosing this life because I know it's going to benefit this other person's
Yeah,
soul?
so after you'd almost be like, whoa, we taught each other a lot there, didn't we?
Right.
So actually, before we come to Earth, and this is like at the beginning, our soul, we choose the lessons that we come here to learn, okay? We don't choose necessarily how those lessons happen because that's where free will comes into it, okay? But we'll choose, let's say, A, B, and C in this lifetime, okay? How we get from A to B to C is up to us, but we will continue to loop at one till we've done that, then we go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Now, as part of A, B, and C, there will be people who can help us get to those points, people that try to stop us, people that make it easier, blah, 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 blah. We've agreed to all of that, and we've agreed to the part that we play, positive and or negative, and they've also agreed for us.
Right. How are you sourcing this information? Because this just basically is exactly the stuff that I've it's my belief system.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
you're just reinforcing everything I've read or researched,
Interesting.
which is
yeah.
my science based. I was a science teacher for like 10 years, but also
That's cool.
I've always been.
Yep.
I always need to explain it, and the messages I always get through is like, just let it go, live in your heart space, just
Yes.
have faith. And I have a
Yeah.
lot of issue with just having blind faith without being able to
And
Yeah.
that's a good
figure
thing.
it out. You know,
And that's a good thing because it means that you don't get taken on a bit of a jaunt, you know.
Yeah.
But however, my information, as I said, is through meditation or it's through readings because I have the mindset of if you want me to believe something, show me, you know. So, you know, say if I'm having a tough time with something, I'll turn to meditation and I'll say, show me this from a different perspective or allow me to understand why this is happening, or I try and shift the perspective
Yep.
if I can. It's not always easy to do because I'm still obviously human and I'm still, you know, like working through because there's also this unusual perception of, well, you're a medium, so you have all the answers.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you don't need X, Y, Z, or, you know, like you wouldn't experience, say, like grief. If, you know, it's this really weird paradox.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm still learning and living just the same as you.
Yeah.
And I don't get a play-by-play. I can't tune in and go, right, tell me the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Tell
my
me how
loved
to
ones.
react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, my loved ones will help me, right? And they can give me little tips and tricks as they can for all of us, right? But I don't get access to all of the answers.
Yeah.
And maybe the most frustrating thing is I can tune in for other people and seemingly help them a lot. I can't get the same information for my own life, which I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You know, but it's meant to be that way because otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't be evolving and learning as a soul either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just here playing cheat mode.
Yeah.
Like you've got
Yeah.
all the, it wouldn't be fun.
No.
Like
Now,
life's fun because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now those souls,
Yes.
once they've finished,
Yep.
one, do they choose to come back in and go, right, okay, I learned those ones. Now I'm going to go down this. I'm going to take on this university degree
Yep.
and go
Yep.
down this path. And individually, they're souls, but are they all part of the same initial one
Yeah,
source?
soul
Yeah.
clusters
Yeah.
from what I've read about, but
Yeah.
you tell us.
So just remind me if I kind of like go off track 'cause there's a lot
No,
of
no,
different
that's
things
what this is all we
All
do.
good?
to talk
we'll
about
come back.
there.
Yeah.
So if we talk about the evolution of the soul first, which I'm pretty sure that that you're touching on there, and obviously I can talk about this from what I've been shown in meditation. What I've been seen or shown, I should say, is that there are many levels in the afterlife. Now, what I want to preface is that there's not one level is good and one is bad. It's not that, but it's the evolution of those lessons and that soul. Okay, and all of us have a soul knowing which we don't have access to here because that's the whole reason why we're here is to come back to self, live in the heart space, as you said, to live authentically to what feels right to us. And so when we do that, we meet the right people, we have the right lessons, hopefully we have the support to do what we need to do, okay? So I have no idea what level we're on, right? I wouldn't have a clue, but I know that when we learn and we live and we love, we progress, okay? And yes, there has to be a point at which we don't return, I think, and a lot of people, you know, who have had a tough time will say, I'm not coming back, you know, I've had enough. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, and I'm curious about, if we look at some of the prophets in our world over the many, many years, perhaps that's our greatest example of that. An experience that I had was with actually Jesus, which was interesting. So I personally don't come from a religious background, okay? I'm really open-minded. I have absolutely no problem with like religion, but personally for me, it's not how I live my life, okay?
Yeah.
I haven't read the Bible. And from what I had seen that was happening in the world as well, I struggled with some of the religious concept. I really struggled with the pain and the judgment that came from some aspects of that. And so Jesus as a guide, as a mentor, came to me in meditation, and that would be probably my best example of an evolved soul.
Can I ask you a question? Was he black? Because
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not in the version that I saw.
right,
Yeah.
because he's from a time where he's probably going to be like a brown dude and everyone's depicted him as this white human being.
Or Middle Eastern, hey?
Yeah.
But also, I think what's important to notice here, though, is that he had to show up in a way that I knew who he was.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, that's not to say that he doesn't have, tan skin. That's absolutely fine. But for my field of reference, I needed.
What we see Jesus.
Yeah,
as.
I needed.
The way you said
Yeah.
that you get shown what you recognise.
Yeah, and so I needed to connect with him and release the prejudice and see him as that evolved soul. And so the way that I would describe that is by talking to someone that you hold on a high regard. You ask their advice, they come in with love and with healing. And the guides that we have as well, they are here to support and to love and to obviously guide us. So they, in my opinion, are on a higher vibration or a level than us.
What did Jesus have to say?
Honestly, it was just talking about my life, and it was really profound. The interesting thing was actually, because as I said, I like to have the validation behind what I'm seeing. So he took me to a chapel in my mind, and it had pink like stained glass like windows, and it was this beautiful, beautiful room. And I Googled that afterwards, and that was really significant over in England. It was like a major thing. I can't honestly, because this was about 4 or 5 years ago. But that was my validation of, this was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Where he was, and it was significant to him as well, which I didn't know about. So, But basically that was my understanding of that higher consciousness, okay? And how they can support us and love us and guide us.
Does it come through as colours? Because from what a few of the things I've read, it says there's souls that have a different colour that sort of line up with where they're at evolutionary wise. And a lot of people that go, I'm an old soul, are not an old soul at all.
Yeah, that's, as I was talking about how people often say to me, I'm not coming back, I've had all my lessons, I'm good. And I just laugh because unfortunately not. And we have no way of knowing that, right? We have absolutely no way of knowing I've had two lifetimes or 10 lifetimes or 6, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on the colours. I don't see souls in that way personally, but that could be how you interpret that for yourself. I'll see colours in people's energy sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what that people consider auras or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, but also I'm more of a grounded person, so they'll just show me images and stuff instead.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and the other thing is when we say a higher frequency, to me that just that wording when people go, we have to be at a higher frequency or love is a higher frequency than hate. How do we know that it's this higher? Because to me that sounds like you're putting your morality onto it. Like this is higher, which is better.
Higher is faster.
Yeah, but how do you feel it as a thing? Is it measurable?
Yeah, it's higher is faster.
Yeah.
So higher is faster vibrations.
And why? But
lower.
why does that correlate with love? And why does slow?
Sound. So think of it as sound waves.
Yeah.
Low is really slow.
But why is low bad and high good?
I see.
Yeah, well, I don't think it has to have a moral component, okay? Because obviously we come to Earth to have the good and the bad, or the hard and the nice. I think what's important to be aware of is that when we do go through those lower vibration or those harder times, okay, like attracts like.
Yeah.
So when you are feeling low, what I always say is follow the joy, right? Because that's a higher vibe, or that's really going to shift your energy. Because when you're in that, in those hard times, you draw in people who are also going through that.
Yeah.
And then you become in this circle. And my Nana in Spirit always says to me, follow the joy, it's the fastest way there.
Nice.
And it's like, if you're having one of those mornings where you wake up and you go, how am I going to get through the day? Just lay there and think, what would I like to do? Like, what's one thing I can do?
Yeah.
Even if it's having a hot cup of coffee, right?
Yeah.
Just to shift things, just to get it moving.
Yeah.
But in terms of the high vibration or the high frequency, I guess like beings, or the way that I was shown that is if you imagine sitting at their feet and they're the size of a giant. So that's how they show me in my logical mind the evolved, or like the difference in where they're at and where I'm at. So it's like that feeling of looking up to your your masters or
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things. Some people talk about, the angels and things like being there. I have no problem with that. I can't like validate that, I guess, but
Would an angel just be like a super evolved soul?
could be,
Yeah.
could be, But I think everyone can be an angel,
Yeah.
right? If you help someone, you're an angel.
Mm.
I do think there's a little bit of like, how can I put this? There's a bit too much on the angel stuff, I think. I
Yeah.
like it to be a little bit more grounded, but however, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I find I get more from knowing who someone is and talking to them and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that angel thing, I was listening to Hamish and Andy, and Hamish goes, I'm an angel, because there was a lady that was praying for a specific thing. I can't remember, it was like last week. And Hamish knocked on the door and she's like, I've been praying for you, because he delivered to her exactly what she needed.
Yeah.
And he's telling Andy that he's an angel. But, that's perfect crossover with what you asked earlier, where you'll get comments from people going, oh, it's demonic.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you mentioned
'cause
Christ and angels.
Because this is
Yeah.
interesting, because it's a concept I've dabbled with as well, and I always question myself to a point. Like
Yeah.
when I meditate and I channel my heart guides, my higher self, or
Yes.
whatever my Christ consciousness, whatever I'm trying to channel there, I speak it verbally, and I record it because I'd forget it at the end. So I've been doing it like that. Is that
Incredible.
one? Is that my ego? Two, is that demonic? Or is that actually my higher self, my guides coming through?
Yeah. It's called channeling, okay? So what that is where you step out of the picture. So you use the meditative like state to raise your vibration, okay? And what I would ask you is, what do you feel in your body when you're in that zone that is like different to how you feel right now?
Oh, I feel very different.
Yes.
I feel like visually, my mind goes a little more out, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then I feel soft.
Yeah.
I feel smooth.
I've been there, brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel silk. I feel silk
Yeah.
is the best way I've described it.
So-
I feel soft.
Yeah.
And then I speak very slowly, but that's the way I do it.
Yes.
And I always go, what is this? Are you going crazy? What is this? But
And the
everything
pitch-
I say makes so much more sense than I could probably
Yes.
logically suggest when I'm talking to Delby or you or anything.
And when you listen to that back, is the pitch or the tone or the way that you sound like different?
Yes, yeah.
And even the words that you would use, are they different?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So they do that on purpose so that it's not you just kind of like making it happen, okay? And the physical sensation that you feel is your own tell to know
Yeah.
that you're in that zone. And is the information helpful, healing, uplifting?
It's usually affirming.
Yep.
You're like, oh, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's generally what it is. Oh, of course. That makes
Yeah.
sense. If I've got a question, I'm like,
Yeah.
battling with what should I do here, there,
Yeah.
whatever.
because
Usually go.
Is it
"Oh,
not? It's not affirming your ego that goes, "Oh, I can do this." Or,
No,
"I'm
but
No.
most
there,"
of it, I'm like, most of the time, I'm like, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay,
And
of
it
course,
will
that makes more sense.
hit you in the heart space. You'll read it and you'll go, oh,
With that too, but then the skeptic, the part of my brain where it goes, well, maybe you're just quietening your mind to be able to actually logically figure it out. That's the other part, but then
Yeah.
it definitely doesn't feel the same. It feels
Yeah.
very different.
And I think for you, that's your tell, okay? Because everyone, if they want to channel, if they want to meditate, will have their own sensation in their own body. So for me, when I'm in that space, I feel a million miles wide and about the same tall. Just that
Oh
expansion
yeah, that expansion feeling.
of
Yeah,
consciousness is my tell. So that's how I know, sweet, I'm in the right place.
yeah,
And so basically what that tells me is that my logical mate and me as a person is out of the picture, so I can trust what comes through.
yeah.
Whether you call that your higher self, it sounds like you would be chatting with a higher self and or a guide or something, because it's the feeling of stepping out of your life for a minute and looking from above and going, cool, what am I not seeing?
Yeah.
Or what can help me change this around? So in terms of it being a demon or something, I can't see how it would ever be that, because for me, when you enter into communication from that high vibe state, which is what you're doing, which is what the physical sensations show you, you are only going to attract or communicate with people of that same vibe,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, that goes to the question about demons then. Are there demons? Because a lot of the stuff that we sort of, our algorithm feeds us, and like people like Tucker Carlson have looked into, they think that it is a big religious war and there are demon entities trying to take control or spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
I think we touched on with that frequency.
Yeah.
You know, those moments where Charlie Kirk, and it creates this thing. We're all receptors and receivers of a signal. It's creating this vibrational
drop.
Yeah.
But is that, there's two questions. One, is there any suggestion of parallel dimensions that are trying to enter ours?
The upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second part is from what you know, we don't know, but is there demons, or is it just souls that have yet to evolve and they've just sort of this low energy that
Well
hasn't
done.
figured
This
it
is
out?
their evolution. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk to this from what I've been seeing shown, as I said, because I can't talk to anything that I haven't seen or that I haven't experienced. So what I have experienced is negative, dark energies, right? I can definitely talk to that. Whether you call them demons, I struggle with that a bit because these are people who lived lives who at the moment of passing choose not to go through the review process, okay? Now let's talk about for a situation. We've all had that experience where you walk into someone's home, they've just had an argument, and you can feel the energy.
Yep.
And it's like walking on eggshells. You just go, oh, something's happened here. I don't know what it was. It's happened before I got here. I'm not involved with it, but it feels awful.
Yep.
Okay.
It feels heavy.
Yep.
It feels thick.
And it feels, you just think, it hits you. It literally hits you.
Yeah. Abby Chatfield's.
I sent you that. Did you? That clip about the bee and the flower.
Yeah.
So the vibration of a flower
Yeah.
and the bee, they both have different ones,
Yeah.
and they actually interconnect with each other.
Yeah, the electrons transfer, and then once the bee's taken off, there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah,
so I can't
positive
feel
and-
it.
yeah,
So there's an example in nature. But sorry, we
It-
cut you
it-
off there. Yeah,
No, that's
that was
actually fine.
my dumbness.
It's cool. So there is going to be a residual energy. Okay, so when someone passes, and let's say they've had a bit of a tricky life, they know they've got this review process coming up, but they're not forced to go through that ever. If they choose to hold off on that, then they will remain at that lower vibration. Okay, because it's the review process and the acknowledgement and the healing that allows us to raise.
Is that what would be considered a haunting as well?
That was my question.
So as I said, I struggle to call these energies demons because for me that takes me to Hollywood and teeth and everything else, right?
Yeah.
They are people and they look to me like people, but they feel very dark, okay, because they're at that lower vibration.
Can you help them move through?
Yes.
Is that
Yeah. So my first couple of experiences with this was pretty overwhelming, and they can never harm us or hurt us, but it's the psychological stuff, of showing information or like making things happen around the house and different things because they are that lower vibe, But the other thing is that when we're around that as well, it makes us feel lower anyway. So whether you're like consciously aware of what you're picking up on, it doesn't feel nice, okay? Yeah. And I'll be honest, I avoided a lot of this work, and I would have people, that would say, oh my goodness, I've got this, in my house, or this is going on, or this is how I'm feeling, and I avoided it for a long time because there are other people, who would do that work. But in the last couple of years, I have had experiences, and I can talk to one in the last couple of months, actually, where I went over to a friend's house, and she has lived in this house for, I want to say, upwards of 10 years, and she's been aware of this like energy the whole time, and she tried saging, and she tried a priest, and she tried all of these like different things, and they had a lot of things happening in the house, as well as like dreams and visuals that were going on as well, and it almost seemed like the energy was getting worse because the more fear, the more it feeds into it, the more negative it gets, and it just kind of builds and builds and builds. So I came over just to catch up with her. Yeah. I said, I can't promise that I can help or that I can fix, but if this energy shows itself to me, then I can. Because that's the other thing, is that when they're in that low vibe, I can't lower myself to reach them, but they can contact me, if that makes sense. So that's how I tell the difference as well, is with our loved ones. That's a conscious act for me to raise and to communicate. With them, I can't consciously do that, but they can come in.
And if
like
you
that.
allowed yourself to drop down, is that where they can sort of leech and suck energy out? Is that even a thing?
I
Or you
don't
just
think so.
No?
I mean, I've never experienced that. I, hand on my heart, wouldn't know how to lower my vibe to them. I don't know. And I don't really believe in the whole leeching energy and attaching to souls and different things because I can't see the point in that, okay? But I know that they feed on the negativity and that kind of thing. So when I was at my friend's place, all of a sudden I got really, really cold, like all my hair was standing up. And I said to her, you know, is this something that you and your partner have experienced in your house? Is this part of what's going on? And she said, yep, you know, it can be like the middle of summer and all of a sudden, oh, it's like you're in a freezer.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I feel like your mate is just going to come say hi now. And turns out she was actually an energy who had been through World War II and had been involved over in Europe with everything that was unfortunately going on there. Come to the end of World War II, they had to leave. They had to change their name. There was a lot of dark stuff that was involved there. She didn't want to leave. Her husband was really high up in everything that we know that was unfortunately going on there. And so she was absolutely miserable to be away from her family. She hated it. Her husband was traumatised as all hell from the war. Obviously got no support, took it out on her. So how I helped her is I listened to what she had to say and I told her to find her mum because that was who she was missing.
Yeah.
And she left and there was this lightness and never came back.
Wow.
So demons, I don't like that term. I haven't had that experience, so I can't, you know, talk to that. But I can certainly talk to souls that have got a bit lost along the way. And there's nothing to be afraid of. Like, it doesn't feel nice. I totally get that. But they can't harm us. They can't hurt us. They're just misunderstood. You know, and it's not a lot of the work that I do, to be honest. I'm very selective about that.
Yeah, that would scare me.
Yeah, and to be honest, it really did me as well because it's such a different experience than our loved ones. But however, that experience was incredible, you know, and you could feel the energy shift as well. And she also gave me different validations, which was interesting. There was one about a shoe that she'd left in the backyard, which my friend confirmed. And
Oh, wow. So she's like, I've got a shoe out there. Go.
oh, yeah. And it was just, it was so, as with everything, there's going to be light and dark. It's just the way that I
Has
look
to
at
be,
that.
yeah.
And when we talk about seeing signs and you talk about validation, now
Yeah.
people will often say like the white feather and whatnot.
It's always a fucking feather.
Yeah. The one I'll use as an example is something that's just happened very recently, so I can remember this one. And I
Yeah.
went, wow, that's far too much of a coincidence.
Cool.
I'd said to, and it's nothing, it's
Yeah.
genuinely nothing, but I'd said to my partner, I want to play cricket. Maybe I just want to play cricket this year.
Yeah.
The next day, in the car with my daughter, and she's giving me muscles.
Cool.
And I'm like, oh, cool, big muscles. Who showed you how to do that? Uncle Rusty.
Yeah.
Because my nephew, he's a bit
He's
of
a
a
unit,
bodybuilder.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a unit. And I speak to him once or twice a year. And as I said Uncle Rusty, his name came up on my phone.
Cool.
Rusty. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I have to answer this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So answer it. What's going on? He's like, oh, I want to play cricket. Let's make a cricket team. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. So for me, that's a sign, like a validation.
Absolutely.
Hey, go do that. That's something you should be doing. It's a bit of
Yeah.
fun, whatever. Connect. You do that. That's a sign.
Yeah.
Who's that from?
Yeah,
Where,
'cause
where
Is
does
there
that?
a crossover with manifestation
Yeah.
and spirit world? Is there a link there? Because we are,
Ask and you shall receive.
we
Yeah.
are creating our
But
own.
also, how often does it happen that just as we think
Always.
of someone,
Yes.
we hear from them?
Yeah.
Always.
And this is something that intrigues me because I feel like, yes, obviously our loved ones will send us on and I will talk about that, but there's also this interconnectedness of all of us on the realm that
Yeah.
we're at here. And when I meditated on that, because it happens all the time, you know, or you'll have like a dream of someone or you'll think of someone, then they'll have something happening in their life. And I was shown all these little pieces of string almost that connect all of us, you know, everyone that you've ever met. And it's almost like when that person's thinking of you or they need you or there's something that you need to be of attention, they'll pull on that string, and so that's why we think about them.
Yeah, I'm just Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba, DM
Like,
me. Yeah.
Personally,
it happens so much.
my friends and my family, they know that I'll always know when they need me. And it will often be, well, it's not only in like meditation, say, but it will often be, you know, they'll pop up in my head and I'll send them a text and they're having a hard day or something, or they're unwell, or, you know, there'll be something that is just a little string pulling, say, hey, contact this person. And it's not even like to pry, like there's no information. It's just an awareness of like, this person needs you today.
Yeah. So if you have that thought of someone, reach out.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they just pop in your head for no reason,
absolutely.
just reach out. Yeah. So many times I'll be thinking of someone and they'll call me.
Yeah.
Like way more often.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am manifesting this, but it could be the
Yeah.
other way around.
And so it's
But-
just that interconnectedness,
Yeah.
or is it signs, or is it all of the above?
Well, in that case, it's also the fact that energy is not limited to time and space, as we know, right? Because I connect with people all over the world.
Yeah.
And so it's just the intention. So if I'm thinking about you and you're over the other side of the world, you can still have that, and it's just that whole energy connection and that like, little
That
like
quantum
string.
entanglement.
Yeah.
That's that scientific has backed that up. If one thing here is with its quantum entanglement,
Yeah.
exact same time on the other side of the planet, wherever
It's
it is.
cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you watched Sense8? Sense8, the
No.
get onto that. It's about
Okay.
8 people that are connected
Cool.
spiritually. And
I love that.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Some
It,
of
it
the-
was so successful. They cancelled it, but everyone
Oh,
was like,
really?
you need to bring it
Keep
back.
it
And
going?
they did a final episode.
Sick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to get onto that.
I need to talk about one other example of this as well, because
Yeah.
it's so fascinating and it still blows my mind. I was in a reading about a month ago and this lovely lady's dad was coming through, okay, and he was talking about the car. And I'm not a car person, I'm the first to admit, I know nothing about the engine or whatever,
same,
right?
yep.
So he shows me in my mind's eye a picture of a car. He's lifted up the hood and he's pointing in there going, something wrong, something wrong, something wrong, right? So I'm saying to her, have you had an issue with your car recently? And she said, no, my car's sweet as. And I was like, okay, just for interest's sake, keep an eye on it over the next couple of days, all right? And then we moved on. Then it comes up again. And I said, I know you said your car is fine, but there's something wrong here, because when they reinforce it as well for me, it's like, oh, we need
Don't let it go.
Then her phone rings and she answers it in the reading, and it's on like speaker, which was a little bit unusual, but anyway, it's her son. And he'd just pulled over on the highway because his car had overheated and broke down in that very moment.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
There you
Now,
go.
What a
that
confirmation.
was her dad showing us, hi, I can be here with you in this reading, and I can be there with him, and I can tell you that that's going to happen a second or two before it does.
Yeah, because time and space ain't
Yep.
limitations.
So that's the other example of that. Blew my mind. Blew my mind.
I think the most mind-blowing synchronicity I've
Yeah.
ever experienced happened 6 months ago, and this was just I laughed. It
Yeah.
was I was with me good mate, just having a coffee, talking
Yeah.
about I'm trying to learn Spanish, blah
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 blah. And he's like, it's really good when you go over to Spain, coming up soon. Make sure you start maybe just use it amongst the population. You'll start
Yeah.
to learn it. It'll help reinforce it.
Cervantes.
Yeah, and it was like go to the train station and
Yeah.
you'll hear it and you'll hear things and it'll say proxima stazione, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Why was he Italian just then?
Yeah, and he's like that's next station, and I was like, okay, cool, interesting. And anyway, finished up
Yeah.
that conversation, went to the coffee shop, talking to me mate. He lived in Spain for a couple of years, asking for some things to do, and he's like, oh mate, just easy, get around, use the train stations. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Go see this person. I want to know if they're busking down there still because they were awesome, and you'll love it. You know, proxima station. And I was like, what? He could have said anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
any phrase
Yeah.
in Spanish, and he didn't have to talk about trains.
Yeah.
Said he didn't have to talk about proxima station,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah.
that's not even. You can't fake that one.
Yeah.
That one's something. I don't know what it was.
Amazing.
I had to go to Spain.
Next station,
It's
please.
just
Suck me off
amazing.
next station.
But yeah, those little things I feel like I take them in me
Yeah.
as like, hey, you're on the right path.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the signs from our loved ones, if we talk about that, they are like a little lamppost along the way, you know, just
Okay.
to go, hey, you're on the right path. Now, as you already kind of touched on, there are some that are widely recognised, whether that's, you know, like the feathers or the butterflies or the, you know, the rainbows and things. And there's nothing wrong with having a connection to that, okay? Because if you think of your dad and you are missing your dad and you say, show me a sign today, Dad, and you drive to work, pull up at the car park, whatever, there's a massive one painted on the wall, awesome, I can take that, right? But for me, the difference and what counts as a sign is when you ask. It's the ask and you shall receive, because that builds the communication, okay?
Okay.
Now, for some people, that can be seeing their name on, on like a number plate. For some people, it can be a repeated symbol, so whether that is the feather or whether that is the butterfly or however that comes across. But they will definitely use signs in our physical world to remind us that they're there.
I've always thought, like, it's just too simple, like feather, butterfly. I've said in the last few pods.
Yeah.
Do something random, like I want to see an elephant charging through the streets in Perth.
Did you
So-
ask
Then
for
you're
an
like-
elephant charging through the streets?
No, I don't need anything right now, but I'm just saying, like, make it
Yeah.
super specific where it can't be down to coincidence. Like, put it as like a rhinoceros coming through your house or whatever. And if they can do that, then you're laughing.
Absolutely. And I think, like, a cool one that I have with my family is coins. So coins. So, I mean, I'm probably like most of us, I usually pay with a card, so I don't have coins. I don't have an abundance of coins in my house. But I will always see one, and it will be the date that the coin was made that will either pertain to that person who had passed that I'd asked for the sign, or it'll pertain to my life. Say in that particular year there was something really significant. So because I'm tricky with it, I'm like, right, come on, you've got to give me something good here. That's my kind of signs. I mean, I have lots of different ones, but I think it's when you ask, and you can actually tell them what you want as well.
Yeah.
So if you want, your sign to be, say, like an elephant, tell them that.
Yeah.
Tell them that. And,
And you're probably not getting an elephant walking down the street, but
Well,
you might see.
as soon as I have a
you might
shower.
you might hear a story about it. You might hear a story about an elephant, or you might see a
Yeah.
picture of an elephant in the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But-
but
yeah.
it will find its way to you.
Yeah.
And I think being a bit skeptical of that is actually good, because they will level up.
Yeah.
And so it'll get to the point where you'll like literally walk, not like into an elephant, but it will find its way to you, and it will feel like, wow, they
Yeah.
actually listened.
Yeah.
And you can play with that.
Yeah.
You can play with it, which is cool.
Now, if people don't have, actually, before I ask that question, numerology,
Yes.
is that bullshit, or are we just looking for things to make sense of our life?
Yeah. Look, I think
Fucking
it's,
Olostos.
I think it's interesting, and I'm not a numerologist, so I can't claim to know everything about it. But I do find patterns with numbers, and I do think it's interesting. What I did
11:22 when I just looked at the clock there.
Oh, cool. What
Doubles.
I played around with on my page, like on my Instagram page, was you would have heard of obviously like the angel numbers and stuff of like 222 and 333 and blah blah
I think
blah.
people just say that because they're doubles and they're like, oh, this is an angel number.
What I did though is I channeled a little message for each number, okay? And I put it out to my audience and I said, pick a number that you feel like you like today for whatever reason. Just pick one that you feel like, would actually resonate with you. And those messages that I channeled would be relevant to them, which was interesting. I think it's the repetition of it as well, but you can use numerology in your own way. So for example, if you're seeing 222 a lot, you don't need to Google that. You need to think, right, so what does that represent for me? So for me personally, when I see 222, it means I'm working through a lot of like relationship stuff, or there's something to do with people in my life is really relevant to me right now. If I see 333, for me personally, it's about work. It's like, cool, you've got an opportunity coming in. So I think it can be another channel of information.
Right.
I don't think you need to chuck it into say like Google and just like read up every single number.
Yeah.
For me, that's pointless. I always say just bring it back to your own intuition. Notice the patterns in your own life.
Yeah.
If every single time you see 111 and then you XYZ, then that's your pattern, because it's just like a bit of a heads up. But in terms of living your life by angel numbers, it doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
Well, mine's 11:22.
Yeah.
Is you're doing the right thing, and when we looked over there
Cool.
just then, it was 11:22.
Yeah.
So that could be a coincidence,
Yeah.
but the fact that you brought it up, I didn't bring it up.
Isn't that
Numerology
interesting?
at 11:22.
Yeah, and
There's
I
a
think
sign.
the other thing about numerology that I found interesting about this year, say, is that this year is a 9. So you guys would have heard about that, right? Or
Yes.
5 plus 2 plus 2? Or
No,
what
no,
a
no.
9 is?
Yeah, and it's a year of endings and
Yeah.
beginnings.
So what I do know about numerology, and it is limited, as I said, I'm not, but anyhow, so this year is a 9, and in numerology, everything is a 9-year cycles. That's why this year has been such a shake-up for lots of us, because it's the last opportunity to sort our shit, to put it politely, to deal with the things that are not in alignment, to make us actually look at ourselves and our life and our choices and go, is this making me happy? Is this in alignment? Is this what I want for the next 9-year cycle? Because next year's a 1 year.
That's what we just spoke about before the pod.
Yeah. And so anything that we haven't let go of, we're going to continue for the next 9-year cycle. So that's why universally this year has felt like a mirror of this is what you're doing. Is it working for you or not?
If you let go of it and it comes back next year, is that a sign?
In what way?
Well, you're like, oh, I've just let go of maybe this person.
Yeah.
And then they show up again next year. You're like, I'll fucking let you go. Like,
I guess, yeah. Look, well, I mean, if they come back again, there's obviously something unresolved that you know that you need to investigate. You need to play with it. You need to see what it is that's coming up.
Yeah.
But I think it's very much about self-reflection this year and acknowledgement of, and actually just be honest with yourself, which is sometimes the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Just to have an awareness and an understanding, and it, you know, you don't have to work it out overnight, but even just that awareness, I'm sure you guys can understand as well, that changes things in itself, because you're just aware, and you can sit in that awareness, and then that will gradually lead to change. It doesn't have to happen overnight.
Yeah. There's a lot of not self-aware people out there, but our listeners are quite good at being self-aware
it's
from
good.
the messages we get. Yeah, the number's 353 all in my life. My phone number, my bank account. I think I was born at 353. All these weird things.
Interesting.
I don't know what it means, but I'm like,
That's your number, though.
Yeah.
it's just numbers, man. I'm like, but if it's a simulation or whatever, or if we are a code,
Whatever you want it to be.
yeah.
That's
The
probably
other thing that I find interesting that I also note in patterns with in terms of numbers and things is to do with when people pass and when children are like born into families as well. There is this thing that happens, and it happens in my family and lots of people, where they'll have 1 month or 1 week of the year where there's lots of birthdays, lots of passings, lots of anniversaries. Like, that's just a really significant time. And that's all to do with numbers as well. And when I said to my guides, okay, what's the deal with this? Like, why am I having client after client after client after client who has a week that is just so significant for their family, and their loved ones will always talk about it? And they said that's a soul family.
Right.
So that's the way that they show us that this group of souls have chosen to incarnate together, have shared lessons in different things, have many lifetimes together before, and many more to come.
Which links back to that soul cluster thing that I was reading about.
Well, yeah, that's actually brings up, before we go into the reading, soulmates,
I've got a couple
twin
extra
flames.
questions.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Soulmates,
Yeah.
twin flames. Like, what are they? Are they part of this soul cluster?
Yeah.
I think Twin Flames has been hijacked.
Yeah.
Oh, probably,
You
but
know.
yeah.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about these terms.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not because I don't like them, but it's because I haven't been shown an application of that.
Right.
What I can say is absolutely, and as we said earlier, every single person that comes into our life, short-term, long-term, positive, negative, there's a point, there's a purpose, there's a lesson. Soulmates, perhaps that's an extension on that lesson. You know, perhaps that's you're coming into my life to show me X, Y, Z. I don't know about twin flames and all that kind of stuff. I'm not overly woo-woo.
Yeah.
I'm pretty grounded. If my guides came through and said, hey, this is how this applies, I'd be happy to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think I just look at everything, all relationships, as a lesson. You know, and that can be short-term, long-term, as I said. Soulmates, are you talking about that in the perception of like one person for one person?
Destined to be.
No, more like, soulmates, because soulmates don't necessarily have to be lovers. They could be, like me and Delby could be soulmates in certain ways. Like there's, or twin flames, like two parts of the same soul connecting.
I don't. Do souls ever get split? I don't think they do.
Yeah, that's
do
the
they?
question. Yeah. So,
Well, the interesting thing is, in terms of souls, is the way that they showed how our souls look like, or how that kind of works. Because obviously we have part of our souls in us right now, but there's also our higher self, or there's another part of our soul that always exists on the other frequency with our loved ones, okay? And the way they explained that to me is, if you think about a cup of water, right, that's like the mother soul, or that's your full capacity soul. I'm just going to use that terminology. That is what exists in the spirit world, okay? That's on that higher vibration. When we have an incarnation, it's a drop of water, Okay.
So
that's why no amount of time would ever determine or affect us being able to see our loved ones when we pass, because that piece of our soul is always going to be there.
that drop could be in other souls, and it's just the same.
Yeah.
Another
In other
point.
bodies, you mean?
So yes, it does raise the question that we could be having multiple incarnations at the same time.
Yeah.
There could be different
Interesting.
realities. There is an unlimited.
Well, that goes on to my next question I've been thinking about for
Yeah.
about 45 minutes, but finding the right time and trying to be
Perfect.
present.
Yeah.
You keep mentioning we're having this thing on Earth. Have you had any spirits or souls come through from other places, like other planets or
Other dimensions.
like not even dimension, or
Yeah.
star systems, or
Yeah.
because if we do evolve here on Earth, is this just one level of a game where there's another level for once you've completed Earth?
Yeah.
Then you go, then you go to Saturn and you do something else.
I think Earth's the final boss.
Is there anything like
Interesting.
that?
So in terms of like aliens and things.
Well, just no, it might not even be alien. It might just be Earth is like this planet for the soul to get to a certain level, and for the soul to learn more, it has to go to a different something we can't even conceptualize,
Yeah.
which might be somewhere else. But yeah, whichever way you want to take that.
Well, I think if you think about, if we just use Earth as an example, if you are born into this life this time, next time you come in as someone on the other side of the Earth, that's going to feel like a different world to you anyway, because of the person you are, because of the family, because of the situation all around you. So personally, I can't say that I've ever been shown that we're going to go onto Mars.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
But I know that each and every lifetime and each and every lesson is a world in itself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And if you just think back to even the space of a year, think back to how much you've learned from the beginning of this year alone.
Yeah.
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 So
As opposed to a lifetime.
yeah, I can't speak to other realities, I guess. It's very much could be possible, but I haven't been shown that. So
Right.
What's okay?
Is there anything that tethers? So there's a book called The Spirit Book. It was written in Portuguese. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
It's done maybe 1800s, 1700s. They would just channel and just let spirits write, ask questions and write.
Automatic writing.
Cool.
Yeah. And I was talking about this, like, I think the way they translate it was like an ethereal fluid or ethereal bond that actually bonds the soul to the body. And without that layer, the soul goes. Has you ever been shown anything about that?
Yeah, I have been shown like a silver cord.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
in terms of say like astral travel and that kind of thing. Or the other interesting thing to talk about here is Alzheimer's and dementia and or comatose patients and that kind of thing.
Cool. I was thinking about that before. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can connect to people who are living, who are in comas and or Alzheimer's, dementia and that kind of thing, because part of their soul is on the other side. Now, that's not to say they can't come back or that they're about to pass. It's nothing to do with that. But that cord is being pulled in two different directions, okay? And I think in terms of astral travel, I don't know if you guys have ever done that, have you?
Tried, but I keep waking up.
Yeah, okay. Did you experience or feel like a pull like back into your body or see a cord or any kind of connection thing there?
Not for me. Have you
No,
done that?
I can't do it properly.
I have
I've
so
tried. Definitely
many-
tried.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about dreams next, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because you
Continue.
did under.
Oh, I astral travelled when I was on hallucinogenics.
Yeah.
I was at Blazing Swan and I could see my housemate with a girl in my house.
Yeah.
Because I got back, I was like, "Hey, were you here with this chick?"
Yeah.
He goes, "How the fuck did you know that?" I was like, "I saw you."
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so weird.
So, yeah,
I was
I-
traveling through fucking time though as
Yeah.
well. Like I kept coming out of it going, "What the fuck?" and then falling back somewhere else.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah,
And
it
it's
was wild.
kind of like that vacuum.
Yeah.
feeling.
That's what it was. Coming.
Yeah, so I can definitely speak to what I've seen in terms of a cord
Mm,
or a connection. And that has to remain tethered until the point of passing.
Right.
Yeah, but I think we can step out of that because that cord can obviously, that can keep connected. So whether that's astral travel or, through like different
Is it
things.
dangerous to astral travel? Is there any dangers with it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, as with anything, it's all your intention, and I think there's no harm in, because at the beginning of the last reading, I'm pretty sure that we went through that little meditation, and
Yeah.
it just sets the energy and your intention for everything for your highest good.
Yeah.
So you had to have the experience to know that it was possible, and to be able to see your mate and stuff, and then they knew that you'd be able to validate that after the point, so you couldn't talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Yeah.
Did that help with nursing? Like, because I've been listening. Have you listened to the telepathy tapes?
I haven't, but I've heard they're
Yeah,
great.
it's wild, hey? So they talk about people with dementia and
Yeah.
being able to connect outside.
Yes, yeah.
Did that help with your nursing and your palliative care?
Yeah, it did. And just on that topic for a minute as well, I can also connect to non-verbal people and children as well and bring through evidential information. And part of my life's work, which I would like to do, is to work in some capacity with parents of those children,
Yep.
because I believe we can all learn to communicate, and how beautiful for a parent to be able to in some way pick up on or validate that love. And
Yeah, that's what the telepathy tapes is all about. The non-verbal kids communicating telepathically, and they've all got this place called the Hill that they go to, and even though they're in different parts of the world, they've already met each other when they
I would
come
definitely
back. Yeah,
need
it's
to
wild.
watch that.
Yeah.
But when you said the soul, you saw a soul leaving and it looks like love, do you see like their body come out of their body, or is it just like an energy come out of their body when they pass?
Yeah, so it felt, because as I said, I interpret like through my senses, you know, and so I could feel the energy shift. It felt like probably the best way to describe it is if a breeze came through the room. It just was that feeling of a shift in some way. And then I saw their back walking away from me with their loved ones.
Wow, that's pretty
so
cool.
it wasn't like some movie where their whole body's lifting and everything. It was very much like a sensation of that shift.
Yeah.
And then watching them be joyous and happy and healthy, walking away with their loved ones.
Yeah. How draining is it as a medium? I remember I was speaking to someone. I met them at the hippie club, and they came up to me because I was with a friend whose brother had passed.
Yeah.
And she just was like, "Look, I know you don't believe, like you might not believe this or whatever, but I'm a psychic and I'm getting this message through." And she told me all this stuff, and she's like, she said his name, and I don't want to say it because he passed in weird circumstances, but like it was exactly his brother, and I was like, what the fuck? That was so.
Yeah.
But she said, I hate it. She's like, I'm having a shower, and the spirits are bugging me. Like my partner's things are like they're coming through, and I just want them to leave me alone.
Yeah.
How is that a similar experience for you, or have you been able to like astral block them?
No, I think I mean I have really strong like boundaries. And you asked before about my nursing, and obviously that was before I was like doing this work. So I didn't understand that I was an empath, and I didn't understand that I was picking up on energy, and I didn't understand why nursing was so draining for me. Nursing, I take my hats off to nurses. I love being a nurse, but it was the most draining thing I've ever done in my life, because you're constantly interacting with people who need healing, you know, so that naturally draws your energy and your emotion and things. So that was certainly difficult because I didn't have any boundaries.
Yeah.
Now with the work that I do, I only do this work when I have meditated beforehand, because as I said, I change my energy. So I connect into source energy, and I ask them to sustain me in the connection rather than myself.
Yeah.
Because if I do my own energy, I can do one reading and I'll be cooked for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
If I use universal energy, 5, 6, 10,
Be careful, the government will come for you if you get
Yeah.
free energy from somewhere else.
but the other thing is that the boundaries are important.
Yeah.
So spirit know that when I'm on, I'm on. Tell me everything that they want to know.
Yeah.
If I'm off, I'm off.
Right.
The only exception to that rule that I've ever experienced, 2 times, one would be when I was on maternity leave, so I wasn't working. And towards the end of the maternity leave, I became aware of like spirit. They weren't passing on messages or anything about anyone without their consent, because that's the other thing about my work. I'm huge on consent. I don't think you should
Are you like,
connect.
"Psh, naughty spirit?"
Yeah. But I was like, you know, I don't think you should connect to anyone or have access to anyone else's information and or energy without their consent. That's a huge thing about the way that I work, and a problem with the whole like spiritual world at the moment, which I'm sure that you can agree. But the other thing is that, so that was the only time that they had come through for me when I wasn't working. So it was almost like you need to get back into it kind of thing. Or about my own life. So like I've had a couple of experiences where I might be walking down the street and I'll see like a flash of a car, you know, not necessarily crashing, but flying over the footpath or something. And so I move out the way and then that happens. So that kind of thing can happen. That's happened a couple of times. Or if someone in my family is about to pass, then no matter what I'm doing or if they're unwell or whatever, I'll know about it.
Is that annoying?
No,
or is it comforting?
It's comforting.
Yeah.
Because I've always said, you know, because I live away from my family because they're in New Zealand and we're obviously in Perth, if someone needs me, tell me.
Yeah.
And there's no way to ignore it. It'll be all day.
I guess it confirms everything that there's something else as well, which probably comforts anyone in any loss of a person.
And is it, but what if it's like an unexpected death? Like if it's a young person or suicide, is there any rules around like suicide? Well, there's two different questions there. Suicide, does that come across as a different energy or a different thing? And then if it's a young person and a shock, is that, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it is exceptionally challenging, you know, and I think that both of those circumstances have so many confounding factors and so many words that were left unsaid, and there's a lot of emotion there. But in terms of, I just want to clarify, like, I don't necessarily, I'm not showing like when someone is about to pass or something like that. It's more of a feeling of like, hey, this person's not well or this person needs you, or, you know, it's like, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Because remember that I'm still learning and like growing as well. So I had a beautiful friend of mine pass in a car crash, and that was a couple of years ago. And she actually had a dream before she passed of police and ambulance and fire and everything coming to work on her a couple of days before she passed. And that was a premonition of, you know, look, unfortunately what was going to happen with her. I wasn't warned about her passing, you know, and that was certainly difficult. And sometimes it's quite confronting to be ready as a medium to then see your loved one in that state, even though they look happy, healthy, well.
Yeah. So has she come back since then to you?
Yep, she came through on the day that she passed.
Wow.
And she sent me a coin with her birth date on it.
Oh, wow.
That actually my daughter, who was 2 at the time, passed to me.
Oh.
So they will always find their way to us.
Yeah.
But in terms of suicide, I think that's an important thing to discuss, you know, because it is unfortunately something that a lot of us have at least heard of if we don't have to face it or know someone, you know, who has taken that path. And I want to be very clear that there is no purgatory, there is no negativity, there is no judgment. They are met with love and they are met with healing and they are met with support, as with all of us.
Yeah.
But there is also an understanding of the life they could have had.
Right.
And the support that they hopefully had that they weren't able to see.
But is that their soul's choice to experience that?
It's probably the free will, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in their lifetime, that was what was written for them, or what they chose for themselves, I should say.
Yeah. So
and I think that's helpful to understand in some degree, because no external factor can change that. And as we know with people who choose that path for themselves, often when they've made up that choice for themselves, no one or nothing can change that. And that's heartbreaking. You know, it's very, very difficult. But they are met with love and support and like, you know, a lot of healing. But also the awareness that things, had they seen things differently or had, perhaps like a different understanding.
Or even just hearing a message now that's like, you are shown or given everything you can handle.
Yes.
So no matter how bad it seems,
Yep.
you can handle it. You just may choose not to.
Yeah.
And we don't really want that option for our loved ones.
No.
Yeah.
And how many people that we look up to in this world who have been super successful talk about that point in their life where, you know, they gave everything and then they were at their breaking point and then they had the breakthrough or something. You know, how many of us have to reach that point?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's a reflection of this whole year as well, and the whole energy, because it's that mirror of, you know, this is who you are and this is the life that you're living. Is this actually what you want?
With that afterworld, like you said, that there's no purgatory, then that cross with religious people that think we go to heaven. How come spirit still come back? If they're in heaven, why do they want to be back here? Is that a drop coming back to be it's all good? Are they omnipotent? Are they omniscient? Sorry, like everywhere at once. How do you rationalize that?
Yeah, well, I think the way that I understand it is that once we've gone through the review process, then as a soul, we can still continue to learn and to heal and to grow. And I think on each level that there are different things we can do, as I said. So, you might want to pick up a soul gift or whatever that is. Or I've just been shown almost like, not university, right? But there are different jobs for different souls, for want of a better word. So we'll spend some of our time, once again, because time is, it doesn't exist, but some of our time doing advancing, learning, healing ourselves. Then we can choose to help someone else with, so whether that be through a guide. The other thing that's interesting to talk about is often people ask me about people like Hitler, okay?
I was going to ask you that before.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Because they will say, okay, fair, but why doesn't he get any, kind of like the repercussions, or how can he coexist with my Nana on the same level, okay? When I meditated on this, what I was shown is that there's two things that are really important to understand for a soul like him, who a lot of us understand to be bloody evil, to be honest. The first is the review that he would have had to have gone through.
Oh my God, he'd be like, oh my God, really?
Yes.
I did all this? Fucking hell.
But he has to experience his impact on every single person that he has harmed.
Gee whiz.
Every single person, not only limited to that person, but the flow-on effects on their family.
Yeah.
Times 10,000. So that's the first thing. So before he's even made it kind of through, I don't want to say the other side, but he already has been, let's hope, bombarded by awareness of how that felt. Then his family and his guides and everything will support him in a way where, until that soul has learnt the wrongdoings and the lessons and understands the impact that they had, they will not be allowed to return.
And what a choice, though, if we say that we choose our souls and our soul's path.
Who chose to be Hitler?
Yeah, well, that's
Or maybe they chose Hitler, but then free will took it a different way.
Yeah. Was it free will?
Yeah. Because remember, we choose our lessons, but how we get from point A to point B to point C, that's free will.
And when you say guides, are guides human entities, or are they like more advanced souls? Like, could Hitler now be someone's guide? This is a bit of like a comedy angle, but it's like...
I'm a little bit careful about talking about this because I really don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah.
I believe that guides are people.
Yeah.
And their soul contract and our soul contract is to guide us, literally, is to help us, is to be there from the minute of birth to the minute of passing, and just to be there to support and to love and to guide. The interesting thing is something that I have noticed is that at different points in my life, I'll have different guides.
Yeah.
I have no control over who or what or how, but it seems to be that there would be a group of energies.
Do they have names, or is it just feelings?
I mean, the one that I've been working with recently is called Marcus, of all things, actually. And he often works with me a lot, with my energy work. And so part of my meditation that I do is I take myself to a place, I almost call it the waiting room. Probably, I guess, with my my nursing work, they kind of merge the two, which is cool. And he will meet me there, and we'll have a bit of a chat about, the day's work or whatever, and anything I need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So it's just almost like a big kind of brother energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
And when it comes to seeing these people and these guides, or someone that might come through for Delby or me, do you choose not the person who comes through, but who's there's two of us in the room?
Yeah.
Can you go, okay, we're looking for Delby here, and that you have control over that? Because obviously, Blue just coming through before.
Yeah.
How does that work for you?
Yeah, so basically the way that I understand that for my own channel and the way that I work, which may vary with other mediums, is that when I open up, I allow the spirit who needs to talk to come through, okay? Now, it's the same in my readings in terms of someone might come to me really wanting to hear from mum, which is so fair, but Nan might come through first. And it's so important for anyone who has any readings or any connection, always listen. It's totally fine to ask to hear from someone, towards the end of the reading, but make sure that you also respect the order in which that is happening.
Yeah, because how do the spirits decide? Like, do they take a ticket and they're like, actually, I was next ready?
Well, the way that they appear to me, and once again, it's it's just my kind of perception, is that they line up.
Wow.
And so I'll take the person. I'll take the person at the front. The cool thing is that I'll be chatting to them, and then I'll also talk about everyone else that's around them. So it could be 2, 10, 200 people. It doesn't matter, right? I'll talk to everyone that comes through. But I'll take the person at the front because I know they're there for a reason. I know they're there for a reason. Sometimes that is because their energy is going to be really calming and relaxing for my client so that they feel safe to open up and to receive. Sometimes it's the fact that just their personality, they're pushed to the front. But the other thing is that with this analogy of their loved ones lining up to come talk to them, is I'll be chatting to this person and then I can energetically feel and hear Mark's here, and it will be like at the back, like just waving to let them know that they're there.
Right.
So there's like a cheekiness there that I feel often.
Have you ever had someone like just no one comes through? Like they're like,
no.
And so, but then what I was getting at before was like, how is there going to be a line for both of us in this?
Yeah, so I'll tune in and whoever comes through.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. So you can't just so could you do a big crowd?
Yep.
And then that's how you see the mediumships do the big crowds?
So I've done lots of shows.
Okay.
I did one actually recently in March in my hometown. It was the first mediumship event that my hometown in New Zealand has ever had. So it's a little country town called like Geraldine, and it's in between Christchurch, which you've probably heard of.
I'm doing a show there next year.
Cool, there you go.
Yeah.
And like Timaru is probably like the next big one, so it's in the middle. And it's a beautiful little country town that has a massive church, not much else.
Right.
Face a lot of backlash about that one, but it was a huge success. It sold out within about 48 hours of
Did you do it in the church or did you do it? Okay. Yeah.
No. I was lucky enough to use my beautiful friend's like venue there. And how that works is I visualize throwing out my energy. So if you imagine kind of like a fishing net, like throw that out over the crowd and then whoever comes through.
Okay.
And that is, I will admit that work is quite exhausting for me because you're holding the energy of everyone in the room and all of the emotions and everything. So I can feel quite hungover after that point for like a day or two.
Well, that's what happens when you drink spirits.
Yeah, literally.
Well, we don't have to do a long one, but you're right
Yeah.
to do a reading for
Yeah, sure.
the room. And do we have to do the meditation and stuff before?
Yeah, I will do, but I'll also just have a drink and just take a minute if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. You want to pause?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can pause. I need to
Cool.
go for a wee anyway.
Cool.
So-
Before we pause, I got one more question.
Okay.
Sure.
Do celebrities ever come through? And if you're a spirit, do you choose to be Michael Jackson, or is it just like that's what happens?
Funny.
Because like, why would you choose? Why do you get to be Michael Jackson and someone else get to be like a slumdog in India?
Because it's how you choose point A to point B to point C.
Right.
It's how you look at your circumstance.
It's A, B, C.
Yeah.
Easiest one,
It's
2, 3.
your mindset.
Yeah.
It's how you see the world around you and how you react to that.
And do you ever get celebrities come through? Like, I've got, Johnny Cash here. I don't even know if he's dead or not, but
No.
okay.
No. I mean,
Unless they were connected to that person and they knew.
because once again, coming back to consent,
Yeah.
just because someone is a celebrity doesn't mean you can sit and channel them.
Yeah.
And I query whether you even could, because why would they come through for you when they want to hang out with their family?
Yeah.
I have a big problem with people just connecting to celebrities or talking about even psychically information. Like often people will be interviewed and they may say that they're picking up on or tuning in on people who are living and trying to get information and things. I can't stand that personally. I think it's revolting. And I would hate for myself personally to be living my life and then all of a sudden you turn on the radio and you've got someone telling you X, Y, Z when you didn't consent to that.
Yeah. And last question before we break. Is there... Oh, it's gone. Is there a celebrity or a psychic medium well-known that you think is one of the best? And is there one that's well-known that you think is not quite actually legit. And you can pass on the question if you don't want to answer.
What I will say, okay, is that everyone has their own style of connection, okay? And for that reason, there doesn't need to be any competition or any comparison in this line of work, because every client also needs a unique connection, and your loved ones will take you to the correct medium. Right. They will put the right one in front of you to have the experience that you need to have. Yes, I've seen lots of different mediums work. Yes, I love some people's work. No, I don't like others. My judge on that is, are they helping their clients? Are they bringing through evidential information? And what is the lasting impact of that? And why are they doing this work? You know, but yeah, I'm not going to talk about exactly who, how, and when. I am happy to say that I went to see John Edward recently because he's in Perth. I love his work. Right. I do love his work. He's very evidential to the point where it's probably not overly emotional, you know. So and everyone has their own blend of that.
Would he pick up on you also being a psychic?
Can do. Yeah. Yep, can do. But only if we're interacting. I should say
medium, not psychic, but yeah.
Well, it's all the same. Yeah. It's all the same. So every medium is a psychic. Not every psychic is a medium. Okay. But in saying that, I believe actually everyone can learn to connect. Yeah. So it just depends on which level you're kind of operating on.
Yeah, I need to learn to meditate first.
Sure.
I just sent a message to myself.
All right, we'll
have a toilet break.
Toilet break. Let you chill for a second, and then we'll come back.
Okay, perfect. How was that?
Relaxing.
Lovely.
Does the room look any different to you?
Yeah.
Open your eyes.
Massively.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So that's a little physical tell. So now you know what that's like.
It's really kind of ethereal, like
it's
kind of glowy.
Glowy.
Yeah.
Glowy.
And that's my little tell as well, to know that I'm in the right space. So basically how this will work and how mediumship works is that I'm going to start to describe the information as they come through. So that can be name, dates, relationship, who they were to you, all of that kind of stuff. And you guys can let me know who this person is for you. And then we'll just see where they take us. And then if you've got any questions at the end, I'm more than happy to tune in and ask any of those as well.
If we don't know like the birth date of someone that's passed, they'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
Or the other thing is it's always helpful to be open-minded and chat to family after. Yeah. So sometimes they will purposely give information that you might not be able to pertain or 100% verify today because they know that then you're going to speak to this person and they need to know this person's okay as well. Yeah. So it's very much just a trust the process kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, if something doesn't make sense, chat to the family and we'll see where we go with that. Okay. So I want to start with, okay, where am I going here? All right. I want to start with this beautiful Nana energy that I've got coming through because she's been around me all morning just as we've been chatting, and she is connected to Mum's side of the family here because she's coming through on my right side, so I'm going to try and describe my process as they come through. So she's connected here, and she is I feel like I'm with you, Branchy, here, but it's interesting. On your mum's side, can I ask, did your mum have like two mums?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's not Jean, but she's like putting herself on the same level.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So this is like a divorce and then like a marriage or something like this on that side, right?
Yes, yep.
So Jean is here as well, but it's this other lady beside her.
Okay.
And she passed in the last year or two, right?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember exactly when.
So she passed more recently than Jean though, right?
No.
It's the other way around.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, that's my mistake. But there's something about April.
Could be.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask my mum.
Can you check with, so not with Jean, with the other lady with April is important.
Yep.
Unless there's any other birthday and or anniversary in April for you guys that comes to mind?
No, nothing.
Okay, so I would say it pertains to her. Okay. And there's a couple of things here that is also being talked about. So these two ladies are actually coming forward together, which is interesting. So some of the information could pertain for one and one for the other.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it that's been having the heart issue?
Heart issue.
Has your dad had any issue with his heart?
I think, well, there's been a lot of health issues with my mum and dad,
Okay.
I think.
Because I just want to say, and this is not because I see something bad happening, please don't. It's just like I need to just kind of work out where this goes. So they're highlighting the whole chest area here for me,
Yeah.
but there's also something here with the heart, and for whatever reason, they're pertaining it to like your parents.
Oh, well, my mum had breast cancer.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that is around here.
Yeah. And is that recent?
Yes, real
Okay.
recent. Yeah.
Okay. But she's over the other side of that now, though, right?
Yes.
Yep, perfect. Because, as I said, I'm not talking about this to concern you. It in no way indicates anything to be concerned about. It's a validation of we were with her for this journey.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's why they're talking about that. And because it happened recently, they also just want to show her support and love and that kind of thing as well.
Yep.
Who as well is the D name? Because they are giving me this like capital D name.
My mum's name.
Okay,
Yep.
right, so that fits. So that's the validation of, hey, we're talking about her, pass on love, and this is, it's kind of like the stamp of approval on that,
Okay.
as they're talking about that. And as well, who is it that's been looking at moving house or shifting the house?
Us.
Cool, okay,
Yeah.
so what are you up to with that? Has it like taken longer than what you thought or something? Because there's something that I'm like feeling frustrated about with this.
Yeah, housing prices.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're no good.
So you haven't quite locked in the next like step. Are you still in like the looking phase?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So they just talk about this like, hey, we know this is on your mind. We know this is part of your reality right now. March seems really important with that.
Okay.
So just for interest's sake, so whether you find the place in March or you end up moving in March, they show me a number 3. So the only other reason they talk about that, as I said before, is if there's a significant like birthday and all anniversary in March for you guys.
In March or April or what?
March.
Oh,
No. Nah. Nothing.
Yeah, so then it pertains to the house, okay?
Okay.
Because they will only ever show me like numbers and, you know, and like different things if it pertains to family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, this person was born here, or this event is going to happen here.
Okay.
So keep an eye on March for that.
Yeah. Okay.
What's up?
No, he
it's
was just asking
yeah,
something.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Has March got a significance to you as well?
Yep.
Right. So I could be coming into your energy. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have someone in the spirit who has the connection to March?
Yep.
Okay. This is probably where I will go with that, but I'm just going to park that for a minute and see if I can continue with you, because otherwise we're going to go this way. But that's what I mean, is that there's a real intelligence to the information. So some of the stuff I'm saying to you will pertain to you as well, okay?
Okay.
But you haven't been also thinking about like moving though, right?
Yeah, I've been thinking
you
about
are,
not
right.
moving, but investing.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
literally had a phone call with Luke 2
Yeah.
days ago about it.
there you go. So
Yeah.
that's the whole real estate thing.
Yeah.
But from like a different perspective, okay? So that's there as well. Right. Now let's see where I'm going to go with this for a second.
And I had a builder in my house yesterday for my bathroom.
Nice. So it is relevant to you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I know that you said that you're a teacher earlier, but this is not that. Which of you has the plans for the education, like this is to do with the business, the podcast and that kind of thing, and there's something about this pathway coming up about education. So whether it's like you creating like an ebook or you wanting to educate people, there's something coming up here, and it's like you would be basically, for want of a better word, like put on a pedestal and like interviewed about what you do and how you do it and that kind of thing. So which of you has been looking at that for next year?
Or have you? Because I've got a few different interpretations, but
Go with yours.
well, there's a TEDx talk in April for me that I haven't thought about it too much, but it would be discussing. I don't know what my topic's going to be yet, and then the other thing is,
Oh, cool. So it's actually you on the pedestal on the TEDx talk.
potentially.
Cool.
And all the other.
Hang on a minute. And did you say that was in April?
Yeah, April
Interesting.
17th. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But then I've barely thought about that. But then the other, because I don't know if I want to do it or not, because I'm like, I don't know if I have anything to say, you know. But the other thing is I do a show called Teacher Comedy Night, and I've just added a teacher quiz night in December. And that's like a new venture. So I don't know if that's
Awesome.
educating
people or not. But
so I would say in this context, it's the TEDx situation. And it's interesting that I also mentioned April because that's actually you getting comfortable being put on a pedestal and you actually talking about your journey.
Right.
Okay. Because from what I can feel at the minute, it's taken a long time to get to this point.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's this whole feeling of, well, what do I have to offer?
Yeah, exactly that.
How could I possibly teach you or help someone?
Yes.
But it's the journey and the way in which you articulate that inspires others.
Okay, cool. Because, I just don't know what I was going to talk about or, So.
Interesting. And when I go to mum's side of the family with you as well, Delby, there is something coming, there's two different things coming through here. Have you got a grandfather that's in spirit?
No. Not on mum's side, no.
On your dad's side?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that I've got a grandfather coming through for you, but there's also information pertaining to mum's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Was it this grandfather that had the heart issue?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's why because I was just getting a bit mixed up there. It's not to take away from the information with your mum. That is still relevant.
Yeah.
Please still pass it on. But that's why, because I was like, I know this coming back here. So that was your dad's dad.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So he's here coming through. Now I want to ask you as well, who has the birthday or the anniversary around us now?
What month are we in? November.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It could be Nono. Or it could be... Yeah, I'm not sure when Nono passed, but like a week or two ago was the Italian family got together and visited their grave and had a lunch literally 2 Sundays ago.
Perfect.
And that's what my auntie organises each year to go.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the equivalent of, and I'm just trying to understand this, like an anniversary of, okay, yep, I'll take that. Because he really wanted to acknowledge that there was this anniversary that's around us at the minute, and it was obviously connected to him. So please pass on to the family. He was there. He saw that they do that. Okay. And that's really important.
I didn't go. Sorry, Nono. I wasn't there that morning, but I've gone every other year. I figured that if Spirit was there, like, he knows that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they've never once come through and said, you didn't do this or you didn't do that, because they want us to live our lives.
Yeah.
But they will always acknowledge when the effort is made as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just for listeners, my Nono passed from heart failure.
So could the D have been
Delby?
Daniel? Like, no, we're not talking to you. We're talking to Daniel.
It pertains to both of you.
Yeah.
So that is the intelligence of your loved ones, is that they know that I'm one medium talking to two people.
Yeah.
So they will go talk about this to do you, and
Cool.
talk about this to do you.
Nice.
So absolutely, it just goes that way as well.
Cool.
But the D for Daniel, that's your name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I also want to ask you on your dad's side of the family while I'm looking here is two different things. Who is the AN name?
AN, my dad's
Like Anthony or like Annette? There's an AN name here.
Oh, it wouldn't be on my dad's side. Is it, what kind of energy is it?
Is it on your mum's side?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's that person?
Uncle
to
Andrew.
you? Okay, perfect. And he is living though, right?
No.
Like he's in spirit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can't see him here yet, but remember how I said your loved ones line up and they'll sometimes yell at me from the back?
Yeah.
He just wants to let you know that he's here.
Right.
Okay. Can't see him here yet, but I will check on that side and chat to him as well. Okay.
He's in line.
I promise.
I love that.
Yeah, so he's here with it as well. And okay. I know we've talked a little bit about travel and that kind of thing coming up next year, but he does also just really want to bring that around you right now. So what's the travel that you've been planning recently?
For me?
Yeah.
A New Zealand tour.
Cool.
And
Okay.
New South Wales tour.
But I feel like there will be more trips than that. Like,
Oh, there's heaps. I travel all the time.
okay, perfect. So I'll explain why I'm talking about it like this. He's showing me, if you imagine like calendars of the year and planes everywhere. So he's basically just trying to indicate there's a lot of travel coming up for you.
Okay, because that was my last 9 months. I've only been home 2 months. I've been traveling tons.
Wow.
So to have more,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it could be a good sign from what I can't talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also want to ask you about what is the connection to, or the trip plan for, or the conversation around Europe as well?
No, cannot be discussed.
Is that
Okay.
you or me?
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say on the pod
Yep.
yet, but yeah, I understand.
Perfect. That's important.
Fucking fingers crossed.
That's important.
That's important. And he just
Ew.
wants to kind of put that to you on a platter. Okay. And I'm going to leave that now. But I just want
I
you,
need more.
No, that's good
Okay.
though,
well, you want to
Delby.
know
That's
about
good.
it, or?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'll leave
Well,
it there. Yeah.
look, it feels
Whatever
positive.
they feel, whatever. Okay, that's good.
Okay, it feels positive. It's exciting.
Okay.
He's encouraging you, and he's saying it's significant.
Okay. Fucking let's go.
You
All right.
manifested that shit.
Let's
and,
go.
Oh,
All right, we'll
I
see.
can't wait till we can actually talk about
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Cool. So,
Bloody NDAs.
Okay.
so that's there as
Is
well.
there anyone else involved with me in that? Are they showing you anyone else?
If they do, I'll pass it
Okay,
on.
cool.
Okay. Right. The other. Okay, just a second here. I may be switching channels to
Mm-hmm.
Andrew on your mum's side. Is it him that has the connection to the cancer passing?
No.
So who has the connection to the cancer or the cancer journey?
Do they have like a kind of energy to you that's got like masculine or feminine, or is it just?
No, so your granddad on your dad's side is showing me saying talk about this. So who does that pertain to?
There's only one other person, but she's not blood related. She was my Auntie Kim,
okay.
who's my mum's best mate and my neighbour
Yep.
growing up. So we called her Auntie Kim, who passed
Yep.
from cancer.
Okay, so that makes sense to me because I felt like I was being pulled to mum's side. She's here too. Okay. And it's just her way of letting you know that she's there, and she's there beside your uncle Andrew, not because of the blood relation, just because she has that connection to mum on mum's side. And
Yeah.
so for me, I asked your loved ones, I said, can you help me? So left side is your dad's side, right side is your mum's side. Okay, so she's here too.
Cool.
Was she more like a mum to you though?
Nah. She was just like growing up was just like my Auntie Kim. She was like, yeah, not like a mum, but she was like my mum's best mate. Like,
So she was around a lot though, right?
yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe in that context, yeah, growing up,
Okay,
we
because
next door to each other, 5 acres, and we would go from like look after house to house.
thank
Yeah.
you, that fits because she was connecting your childhood with her.
Yes, very much so.
So if I said that in the wrong context, I apologize. But she was talking about just watching you like grow up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, for a certain point, yeah.
I need you to know on some level, and I'm sure that you are aware, but she cared about you and she loved you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and so that's why she's coming through with that.
Yep.
So that's that there as well. Now, coming back to Granddad for just a minute here, because I haven't finished with him. Who has his watch?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask your mum. And there's something here about, I feel like it's going to be like a tan strap or something, or like a leather strap.
Leather strap watch.
About,
For Nono?
yeah.
Okay.
There's
I'll have
something.
to ask my dad, yeah.
Yeah, there's something about his watch being passed down, but also he's talking about who has the name that's repeated as well on your dad's side.
As in like two of the same names?
Yeah, so like for example, his name to middle name, there's like a name that's been repeated here.
Oh, okay. So that's not my nono. That's my uncle.
Okay.
My middle name's Andrew, and my uncle's name's Andrew.
Oh, perfect, cool. Thank you.
I don't know if it's a watch, but I've got his ring, Uncle
Perfect.
Andrew's ring.
Okay, so the watch pertains to your granddad still.
Okay.
But that name pertains to your uncle. Fantastic. So that's his way of coming forward and just kind of like taking the microphone, and taking us there. So let's see with him for a second here. Now, question: was it him or your grandfather, or perhaps even both, that was the smoker?
I don't think Nono smoked. I don't know if Uncle Andrew smoked or not.
Because I just got this strong whiff of tobacco coming in here.
Okay. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, was
I
that-
know my mum's dad, but he's still alive, smokes.
Yeah, no,
but
it's not that.
No.
Did your granddad smoke
Yeah.
on your mum's side?
I don't know. I know he didn't like my mum smoking.
Okay. Because I keep on getting this like reference to the tobacco.
Yeah, potentially. Like my mum and dad smoke quite a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm from a smoke-free family. I don't know
Yeah.
if Uncle Andrew did or not.
I feel like it could be your granddad. I feel like it's coming from him. So if you can ask your mum if he smoked.
Yeah.
Because
They did. What was it called? Snuff or whatever? Like
it's like a tobacco kind
tobacco,
of smell,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
chew it or something.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. He used to have a little song he taught us about that, which was kind of funny.
Okay, so you can see why that's going to be important for him coming forward now.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So he did. I just wanted to acknowledge him that he was there, and as part of it as well. And your granddad was more like a rough around the edges, that kind of bloke. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So he's here, all right. But I've also got your family, and they may talk over each other, as I said, but hopefully not.
My Italian family definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Daniel, the other person that I want to talk about as well, who is the MAR name? Like Mary?
Well, Maria Luisa is my auntie Melissa, but she's still alive.
Yep, no, that's fine. And that's on your dad's side, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I'm trying to remember. My nonna has 2 names. I know one. I can't remember the second name. So, yeah, it could be my nonna's second name or something, but I can't.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to. So this is your auntie, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you please pass on love to her from your granddad, which is her dad?
Okay, yeah.
So when they talk about the living, it's like, hey, put some love there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and just say hi.
All right. She needs it the most. She's like the one that's suffering out of all the aunties and uncles. She's
Yeah.
the one that is just, she won't do anything to their house because it's like,
Yeah.
she still has all their like clothes and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, let go.
So that's why they want to acknowledge her.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not to be concerned about, because some people get really anxious and they think, oh my goodness, if they're talking about the living, then something's going to happen. It's not that. They just they can see that she's having a shit time, and they just want to put love around her. Okay. Because that's important as well. And, okay. Is it you as well that your granddad's talking about, like, I don't know if this past year, and it's not from a judgmental place, but like you haven't been able to like work out as much as what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what is it that you've been looking at doing that's new, like a new class
I've
or
been
a
doing
new...
strong. I've been doing strong Pilates for the last 4 weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you love it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, keep doing that.
Okay.
And especially with the travel, which I'm sure you're already aware,
Yeah.
that's going to help to keep you good.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it is challenging in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
And he's like, just keep that up. Because it will keep you in a really great place.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah.
And can I ask you a question as well? Are you single at the minute?
Yeah.
And that's been on your mind a bit too?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm not the kind of psychic that's like, April 1st, we're off, okay?
Yeah.
But I want to let you know that this year coming up is significant for you with relationships,
Okay.
okay? Because your granddad's talking about like this shift that has happened within yourself.
Right.
And it was almost like, no, I'm not interested. And then, all of a sudden, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So you understand how, like, you know, that manifesting work and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. But he's like, the person that you are today is the best version of you. You are going to draw in the best person to match that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So don't worry too much about, like, coulda, shoulda, woulda over there.
Wow. Okay.
Right, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, massively. That's what I was meditating on before we spoke.
Well, okay, well, there
Yeah.
you go. Because where you're going needs to have a specific person,
Right.
okay? And that contract, that agreement has played out,
Okay.
okay?
Is that romantically, or is that like I need another person for where I'm going?
That's in the relationship sense.
As
so
in,
that's
like,
like
yeah,
a
love sense.
romantic
Yeah,
like
okay.
relationship.
That makes
Yeah.
sense to me for you.
Yeah. So next year, so basically, for want of a better word, he's saying try not to stress too much about it. It's coming up. So, you know, if there's anything that you want to do between now and then, now would be a really good time to do that and start to think about what you want that to look like. Okay. He does talk about here, and I think I'm with you. Can I ask you previously, was there like an engagement or something?
I understand what that means.
Okay. He just wants to put love around that whole situation
Okay.
for you.
Right.
Okay. So it was a tough time, and he just wants to let you know that he was there with you through that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. And I know that I touched on that from a completely different perspective with you last year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's relevant still.
Oh.
Yeah, don't know. Don't think in regards to what?
Like, they're showing me an engagement ring.
Oh.
Thank you.
No, well, yeah. Yeah. No. But yeah.
But nah, but
yeah.
I'm not going to talk any more about it. I just want you to know that they are validating that situation.
Okay.
The-
Yeah.
And the conversation and the choices that are being made about that at the moment.
Yeah, cool.
Okay?
Sick.
I can leave it there. But it was interesting because your granddad was like, and it's relevant here, but completely different perspective.
Yeah.
Okay?
Nah, it's. I think I've even said it on the podcast. I'm like, I'm very happy. I've made my choice. She's the one, but other priorities are.
Oh, of course. So. And it's not from a perspective of it's happening tomorrow.
No, that's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But it's the conscious choice. It's that thought process that they'll often talk about on all different topics of life because that's not on Google.
Yeah.
No.
Okay? And for you, it took you a long time to feel ready for that, to acknowledge within yourself that this is who this is for you. Okay? So that's why he's talking about that, because that's important. Right, and now let me just come back to you for a second, Delby. Okay. I want to ask you, I'm not sure if this is you that they're talking about. Have you had issue with your lungs? Like with your chest?
No, I know. That's my dad.
Okay, so what's happening with him?
So...
Because your granddad, like just to kind of understand like where it's coming from, he's like, hey, talk about the lung area here, and it doesn't feel right.
Okay. So, well, I've got to speak to my old man, so I won't share too much because we don't know what's going on. But Dad came around and said that he's been feeling not too good, but maybe the validation is we immediately thought, well, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, Dad fell off a ladder at work, got impaled on a spike, went through his rib cage.
Yeah.
But while they were x-raying his lungs, they found a cyst on his lungs.
Wow.
But it was benign and it was taken out. So Dad came around and let me know last week he hasn't been feeling too good and he's going to go get some things checked out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's a really positive thing that he's already acting on that. I don't feel like this will take your dad out. That's the first thing that I want to say. So please try not to go like to end stage in your mind, which we all do when we hear that, that our loved ones are unwell. I just want you to know that they're around him, they're around you. I feel like it will certainly be something that can be overcome. Yeah. Okay?
Well, Dad's like, man, the stuff he was telling me is I've been waking up tired and a few other things. And I was like, yeah, you're 64, you're still playing. You're still plastering. Like, you're 65.
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But just pass on his dad's love there, please. Yeah. Because it's a really tricky time when you don't know what you're dealing with and all of that kind of thing. Did you guys also have a dog that's passed?
We've had multiple.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know that I've talked to Blue, but this is another dog that's coming through here. And this would have been a childhood dog, right?
Okay. Yeah, there's one, yeah.
Because it's pertaining to your childhood and your granddad just wants me to acknowledge that they're here as well. And who had the retriever?
I don't.
Or like the Labrador, because they look pretty like similar.
Yeah, we've never had a retriever or a Labrador. Have you?
I had I had a ginger, is like a orange and white sort of dog.
My dog growing up was Jack. He was a Kelpie.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that.
I had Jade. She was like a Kelpie cross something. Jack and Russell or something.
And so she had like a longer coat, because this is like a caramelish colour
Yeah,
dog.
caramel, yeah.
Right, okay, so this is her. Okay, so she's here just for what I can see at the minute. Okay. But also your childhood dog, Delby, is here as well, because there's a connection from your granddad that's talking about this.
Right.
And it was a male dog with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so your dog and your dog is also here.
Cool.
And obviously like Blue as well, and they're all connected. Now, what's interesting here, Delby, and you did talk about signs, so I just want to give you this one. Dragonflies. Keep an eye out for those. Okay? Ask for a sign, keep an eye out for them, like a one painted on the wall or something. There is going to be something significant with that in an airport down the line.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned that because yesterday I was driving on 6PR. There was an Aboriginal lady talking about dragonflies, and that was her sign and her spirit animal.
Oh.
And it represents like a new season coming and a new change of leaf. And I was
Cool.
like, oh, I wonder that. But then I had that conversation with myself. I was like, I would never choose dragonfly as a sign because it's such a simple one.
So that's your granddad teasing the shit out of you, that he was there in that moment and he just
So
wants to
fuck you,
validate
now
that
you
looks
go.
back for you. But seriously, keep an eye out for them.
Okay.
Okay?
At airports
Yes.
specifically.
Okay.
Because in terms of a future event, there's something about, and perhaps it's around this TED Talk, I'm not sure, but there's something here with like you're traveling, you're feeling really anxious, and you'll see this, and it just is there to calm you. It's to
Okay.
remind you that you'll be okay.
All right.
Because your granddad does talk about as well. Have you found with your mental health it's been quite a journey?
No, I've been pretty solid, I reckon. I've just mean, yeah, I would never consider myself depressed or.
No, he's just
Or
talking
like
about highs and
Yeah,
lows.
there's definitely been some. I mean, yeah, definitely been highs and lows, but yeah, I wouldn't say like. Yeah, it depends on what he means, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just wants me to talk about the fact that from a mental health perspective, and he's showing me my sign for highs and lows here, okay? And that's not to say that we have to be diagnosed with anything, but I feel that we are moving into a point of more stable
Okay.
emotions,
Yeah.
okay? So it's not labeling you as one thing or the other, but it's that feeling of almost feeling out of control sometimes of like, I feel so great right now, and then, oh God, I've got like nothing left to give. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's less about the labels and just an acknowledgement of almost like a sound wave as he shows it to me, but it's like we're coming into a point of equilibrium now.
Yeah.
Okay? Which is a great sign that you're exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
Right? But you're also learning how to look after yourself.
Yeah.
Because you sign up to everything and say yes, which is great. And then we work out how we survive later.
Yeah. I sent you that reel yesterday.
We need to be, and you are, a little bit more aware of what you need to do to look after you.
Yeah.
Okay, and part of that is like the whole, all the Pilates and stuff that we talked about. But keep an eye out for this year because it is going to be busy, as in this year coming.
Yeah.
Don't want to hit burnout, is what
Yeah.
he's talking about here.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the second time that message has been delivered to me within a week.
Yeah, so that's important as well. And okay, let's see here. There is this other name coming through, and it's like Nate or Nath or Nate.
Not for me.
My brother's name's Nathan.
Okay. Let me see with him for a sec, because this could be your fam chatting about and just saying hey. Who is it that has the connection to the music or like the instruments?
Yeah, my brother, really good drummer.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
So they just want to put some love around him.
Okay.
And they just want to say hi. And just seeing for a sec here. Is there like 3 brothers?
Yeah. Yep. I've got
Okay.
2 brothers.
Yeah, because they were showing me like 3 together, which is interesting.
Yeah.
With you. And which of you guys, perhaps it's Nath again, has been talking about the fishing trip or like the boat?
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Literally 2 days ago, we had a little message about it for Christmas Day, and
Cool.
we're all spending Christmas together for the first time in like,
Oh,
don't know how many years. We're going to
That's
go down
really
the beach
cool.
and go fishing on the beach for
awesome.
Christmas Day and stuff.
Please know that your family will be there.
Oh, nice.
You already know that, but
Yeah.
you know.
That's pretty
That's pretty
And-
specific. Yeah.
I want to ask you as well, and I'm just not sure if it's still Nath,
Mm-hmm.
because I know we talked about the house kind of like stuff with you, but he's not also like looking at like moving or changing his house, is he?
Yeah, I think we're all in that little
Interesting.
having a look at some things. Yeah.
Because I know that I talked about that with you, but it was like coming through again, and I was like, well, I've already talked about this, so it has to be pertaining to him.
Yeah, I think he's definitely. I think they're entertaining the idea of land.
Cool. Okay, so then that would be to like build.
Yeah, I think like down south sort of
Cool.
thing. They want to.
He
Well,
knows.
but yeah, no, they are. They want to build. Yeah, I think,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because they're actually showing me
Oh,
like
Mediumship maybe or something. Yeah.
trades and stuff. So it's like, you know, compared to buying a pre-existing, they would be building.
Yep.
Well, I feel like you would be more of the pre-existing house. Does that make sense?
Yep, that's definitely.
So it's just like the difference there. But also they do put a relevance here around like tradies. So I don't know if he is a tradie or who is it in the family that is like a builder or something.
My brother, the other brother.
Okay, so what does he do?
He fencing.
Okay, cool. So he uses all of those like tools and stuff. So they want to acknowledge him as well. It's really interesting. And they're saying that, or as your granddad is just like taking me through each of you guys, it's like, I don't know, do you all kind of look the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really,
My youngest brother and me are like twins.
are you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because he was talking about the appearance, right? But he's saying internally very, very different. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So it's so interesting. He's just talking about like, just you guys are like chalk and cheese on the inside, but you look similar on the outside, which is interesting. And have you been talking with Dad about his health?
Yeah, sort of. Just like look after
Yeah.
yourself as
Yeah.
well, because you know he's been worrying about Mum so much.
Yeah, okay. Because I just want to keep an eye on like, and this is just from like a well-being perspective. It's not from an illness perspective.
Yeah.
But your granddad just wants to kind of emphasize that around him as well.
Okay.
From a perspective of if you don't use it, you'll lose it, which we all know.
Yeah.
But if you guys have already been having that conversation, it's just to validate that as well.
Okay.
Which is interesting. And your daughter, has she been talking about like wanting to get a pet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
Because-
a lot lately. Yeah.
Because your granddad is like, now, forgive me, I'm not sure if it's a rabbit or like a guinea pig, but he's like holding it like this. What has she been talking about?
No, we got a Chihuahua and she's fucking obsessed. And she
Okay,
wants
so is it
another one.
tiny?
Yeah, it's tiny.
Okay,
Mate, yeah.
because he's holding it like this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, he's just holding it like this.
Yeah.
And so she's been talking about like wanting another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, we're
well,
not
good luck
getting
with
another. Not another one.
Which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She does want another dog.
Yeah. And just seeing where they're going to take us now for a sec. In your family as well, who has the birthday near like Christmas time?
My daughter.
Oh, cool.
Oh, actually, and my mum.
Oh, cool.
So my daughter's is today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
but
realise that.
my
Happy
mum's
birthday.
my mum's is New Year's Eve.
Okay, perfect. Please pass on happy birthday to both.
Okay.
All right. And I love that because we were just talking about your daughter, so
Yeah.
that's really nice. Okay. He does mention about Mum. The only thing that I would want to be aware of moving forward is her nutrition and her gut. Has she had issues there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She had half of her gut removed.
So did my mum.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All
had
right.
half of it removed, and yeah, she had some very bad gut issues.
Gosh. Okay. Well, just know they're putting healing there.
Cool.
Okay. And it's not to be concerned about, but it's to be aware of, which I'm
Yeah.
sure that you guys are.
Certainly has to keep on to some nutritional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that that is also relevant to you.
Mm.
Okay. So let's just see for a second here. And when I try and focus on you for a minute, Delby, they also take me to the 8th. So if I go to August, who has the
That's my
relevant?
mum's birthday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about Mum with you as well. And they do just put that healing there, as I said.
Yeah.
And I know that you will, but please pass on love from your uncle and her friend as well, because that's important. And, okay. They do talk about with Mum as well, which is interesting. With her, one of her rings, there's like a diamond missing or something. There's like an issue with the ring.
I'll ask her.
And it's like an acknowledgement of that being relevant around her. But please pass on their love, as I said. And is it you that's into like This is so odd. They're showing me just like Grogu and like all of that. Because what's that movie? I'm having a mind blank.
Dragon Ball Z.
Is that what he's from?
Grogu's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not really into Star Wars, but
What's that other one that you said? Like the
Star
Dragon
Trek.
Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z. Grogu is like the Mandalorian in Star Wars, if that's like little Yoda. But I'm not sure. I can ask Mum what reference that is.
No, it's like talking about like an interest of yours, like the relevance of this. Is this like relevant to you?
I mean, I love Marvel movies and science fiction. And
Yeah.
Actually, I said when I came in, I just miss watching escapism. And
Well,
like having
it
that
depends what
fun.
the next message is, because it could relate to me, but I just need to know more context.
Okay, well,
So-
they're showing me an image of, like, as I said, that character like Grogu, and they're saying talk about this. So what does that pertain to you, like bring up for you?
There's a person that always gives me shit about being into Star Wars. It's sort of our thing.
Yeah.
But it's an important relationship that I've sort of wanted to know more about.
Sure, okay. So that's how they take me there.
Okay.
Okay. So let me see if I can get some more on that for you. The other thing that they talk about with you, unconnected to this person, I feel, but just interesting anyway. What's been happening with your phone? Have you got an issue with your phone?
Nah, I just replaced the screen on it.
Okay, so it's that, because you've just done that. And is that like in the last couple of weeks?
I did it, yeah, the day before yesterday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's just like their little way of showing that they were with you when you did that.
Okay.
Because I was saying, talk about the phone, there's an issue there. And I want to go to your mum for just a minute as well. Is it your mum who loves the garden and loves all the flowers and everything? Because there's a connection here with the flowers.
Okay.
And as well, I feel like there's also acknowledgement of, with the celebration that was in the family, that we talked about previously with your nono, there was something about putting flowers or something there with it as well.
Yeah, they do that all the time. They bring roses and chuck it on the on the headstone.
So that's why that was important.
Okay.
And I think perhaps it was like your mum who put them on or something, like there's a connection with.
Not there, no, because that's mum and dad divorced, so like that's one side of the family, and mum has been completely separate from like 10, so I can ask her about
That's
flowers.
fair. But there is still a connection with mum and these flowers though.
Okay, I'll see. I'm not sure. I know that when I was little, and we'd go put flowers on Uncle Andrew's grave.
Yeah. And that was your mum that did that, right?
My mum and my grandma.
Yeah. So that is the connection as well with mum putting it on, because there was something there about mum putting on the roses and having that connection, and that's from your uncle.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes the information that they show me is a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
But it's just your uncle's way of saying, hey, I saw that you did that and it meant a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why he's talking about that, which is important. Okay, now let's see for a sec. Okay. I also want to ask you, Delby, and I think this may also pertain to mum, but I'm not 100% sure. Who was it on your mum's side that lost the baby?
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask.
So there's a pregnancy loss here
Okay.
that is being talked about.
Okay.
And this wouldn't make sense to you, Branchy?
On my mum's side.
Yeah.
Or
Or like you haven't actually been through like a miscarriage? You haven't had a pregnancy loss?
no.
Okay. There's an acknowledgement here of a baby in the spirit,
Okay.
and it's through pregnancy loss.
Okay. Well, I know my mum lost twins and a baby in between each of me and my brothers.
Yeah, okay. So this is an acknowledgement of her experience with that, okay? And it's to pass on love and healing to that experience that your mum went through.
Okay.
Okay? So and they will often talk about these things because they're bloody tough.
Yeah.
And our loved ones just want to show that they support us through that. But the other thing is that those souls are taken care of and loved and included in the family, just as we are. Okay, so please pass it on, which is important as well. And just seeing where they want to take us for a second here. Who was it as well that's had the issue with their wrist?
My mum broke her wrist roller skating really badly.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So that's just another validation that information, as I said about the pregnancy stuff, pertains to her. Okay.
Yeah.
So they will validate that backwards and forwards and different things, but it's just to know where the energy is and put the love there. Okay, because that's really important. And you have your uncle's ring, don't you? Because you said that you did. Yep. I want you to know that you can hold that, you can wear it, you can put it under your pillow, and his energy and his love will always be in that.
Yeah, because I didn't know if I should melt it down and reform it into something that I can have more often, or what to do with it. Because at the moment it's just in my bedside drawer. So.
Yeah. And I think you'll know when the time's right, and it's literally just up to you and what you want to do. Is that a gold ring?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite chunky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was showing me, I think the correct term is maybe like a signet ring or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but...
So it's like a big gold one anyway.
Yeah.
He just wants to acknowledge that with you, which is important. And he does talk about this year as well. Have you made an effort to or tried to organise your schedule to make it back for the family stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's really important to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's saying that, and that's in line with that, coming into equilibrium stuff. Once you work out what the non-negotiables are, it'll be sweet.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, I
before you
cancelled
got
the
here.
show so I could spend time with fam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you never, ever, ever regret that.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep doing that because that means a lot. And part of this travel as well that he talks about, who has the plans to go to Bali or up that way?
Me. I've got my mate Imad who he wants to do a boys trip.
Cool.
Go to Bali. Been trying to organise it this week.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, talk about this. And I was like, it's a little bit generic because we're in Perth. He was like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's really relevant. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, there you go. Okay. So that's coming from your uncle.
Yeah.
Now, as he comes forward, he was a man that was quite well put together, right?
I'm not sure. I never knew him.
Okay, well,
So-
you'll have to look at some pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he had to walk around in a suit, but he was on the opposite end of the spectrum would be someone wearing a holy T-shirt and stuff.
Okay.
Not him.
Okay.
Okay, so have a look at some pictures and ask your mum about his personality.
Yeah.
But he's someone that would certainly take pride in the clothes that he wore. I would expect him to wear a belt and be tucked in and stuff, compared to, as I said, holy T-shirt and jandals is not his vibe as he comes through.
Okay.
And you'll probably find that when you're looking at pictures or you ask mum for one, she'll probably send you that one or there'll be one of him in that outfit, which is why he's showing that to me.
Okay.
Because that's important as well. And who is it that has the connection to the motorbikes?
I feel like that might be my Uncle Andrew as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in he would ride them?
I think he used to tinker with them. I'm not 100%, so I'd have to ask Mum. But
Yeah, we'll just have a chat
think-
about that.
Yeah.
Because he was just saying, hey, this is important as well. And okay, it's kind of interesting. He does talk about as well with you, with your mates and that kind of thing, and perhaps this is actually relevant with the Bali trip that's coming up. Were you wanting to steer the direction of that trip a little bit away from, for want of a better word, having an experience that meant you had to recover from that for multiple days, into something that felt a little bit more wholesome?
Yeah.
So less a lads trip and more a getaway.
No, as in was I trying to position it where I could relax more? Yeah. Yeah.
Because he wants you to be aware, and it's completely your choice, but he doesn't want you to set yourself up or have an experience for which you need a week to recover, because honestly you haven't got a week.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's we've got to hit the ground running.
So don't have a bender.
Yeah.
Or don't go there to recover. Go there, split it in and just know that it's going to be not a recovery journey.
that is
Is that what it
completely
means?
up to you because,
Yeah.
as I said, there is free will. But keep in mind the conversation about like burnout.
Yeah.
Keep in mind the conversation about needing to prioritise what feels right for you.
Yeah.
Okay? You've got really important opportunities this year.
Yeah.
You have to be top of your game.
Okay.
How you get there is up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
last time you came back, you
All
were
right.
fucked.
Well, I might move
See?
the Bali trip back
Thank
to.
you. You don't have to move it, but just prioritise something that can look after you
Yeah.
while you're there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we always come back from holidays fucking feeling like we need a holiday.
Yeah. So actually make it a holiday this time. Okay?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, relax.
And that's important as well. And have you had an issue with your trap or your neck or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Fucking big time.
Because your uncle is literally poking me right here.
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
It's been like a month and a half.
Yeah.
I've spent so much money and time and energy getting it fixed. Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
I don't know. I feel like it's
Yeah.
brought on by stress. So I'm trying to
Yes.
like get rid of stress.
Yeah.
So.
And it's hard because I feel like once your body like makes a pathway and that's what it does, it's really difficult to undo that.
Yeah.
But I would almost want to look into or be open to something like acupuncture or cupping even.
Cool. I had that done last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why that's coming through as well.
Yeah.
Did you find it helpful?
Yeah. So
Oh, cool.
that she was a Raynor masseuse who delivered messages as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Keep up with that because I think that will help to redirect that flow, as I
Okay.
said. But it's also another sign for you to be aware of that when that problem pops up, it's like, oh, something needs a bit of a check in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's my, yeah.
Yeah, the body
It's
physically
my,
manifests.
I've literally since then I've been noticing at the funeral for Matt's, I seized up and everything cooked
Yeah.
it again. Anytime I'm
Yeah.
overstressed, it's been, I'm physically just clinching. So I have to
Yeah.
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 Cam Watkins' episode
Yeah.
is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
let go.
So just keep an eye on that, okay? Because that's important as well.
So specific, eh?
Just seeing if there's anything else they want to chat about for a sec. Have you also been looking at writing a book?
Not necessarily, no. Nah, not a proper book.
What have you been looking at writing?
Trying to think of like a new calendar with like funniest teacher stories for merch.
Cool.
But it was too like, I was going to do like 365 pages, which is too much.
Too much, yeah.
Unless you've been thinking of a book.
No.
365 pages.
Well, it's, a funny story,
yeah,
yeah.
Now this is with you. Hold on to that idea for later.
Okay.
Okay, there'll be something else about that, whether you turn it into a book or there'll be something, but that idea is important. Now is probably not the right time. That's absolutely fine, but just keep it there and you can pick it up later.
Okay.
Okay. Is that a choice that you made like recently not to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why he's talking about that.
Yeah.
So it'll make sense later on, but it is a really, really cool idea.
Okay.
Which is important. And who is it that has the connection to the golfing as well?
Both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like to go?
I'd like to try, yeah.
Yeah.
I play every week.
Awesome. In your case, Delby, I want you to know that your uncle's there with you in those moments.
Oh, you need to help me more, Uncle Andrew.
Yeah.
You need to steer the ball in a bit more often, please.
Yeah. But from a mental health perspective or just from a chat perspective,
Yeah.
if you ever want to download or ask questions, or that's a really good time to do that.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
Because that's important as well. And it's not your dad who would play as well, is it?
Yeah, my dad.
Okay, so that's with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And his parents are also in the spirit? Your dad?
No, or his dad. Yes,
Yes.
is, yeah.
Because that's coming from his dad. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
when you chat to dad about all the stuff that we've talked about, just let him know that when he plays golf, his dad is there.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Branchy's always said golf is where he takes his time to put the phone down. At all he's
That's
doing.
my zen.
That's
That's
his
Yeah.
zen.
Yeah. And you know that your family are there with you as well when you're playing, but just that particular message was with you, just to
Okay.
make it a little bit more mindful,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
Which is important as well. And the other thing that they're talking about with you, Delby, which is interesting, what's the problem with your sinuses or your nose?
Yeah, I've got something happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You looking into that or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about it, as I said once again, but it's another acknowledgement of we should probably sort that out if we can. And I don't know if the travel makes it worse.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Definitely for me, I'm having that sign
Yeah.
of stuff, but you said it's for Delby.
Okay, yeah. Well, if yours is made worse by the travel, keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just every time I travel. But it isn't that common, I feel like. Every time I go on a plane, I'm... ugh.
Oh, yuck. You'll
Yeah.
just be aware because I'll be talking about it for a reason.
Okay.
Okay.
Not to concern you, but just another validation of kind of what's been happening. That's there as well. And which of you has the connection to the rainbows?
Not me. I think, Branchy, you're pretty gay, so no.
Don't know, rainbows.
No, so this
Yeah.
is like that song Somewhere Over the
Oh.
Rainbow.
Yeah. No, I sing the rainbow song to my daughter every night in bed.
Thank you. Thank you. Laughing at me. It's important.
Yeah, I sing it to my daughter
Yeah.
every night. Well, almost every night before
Yeah.
bed, yeah.
Know that your loved ones are there when you do that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's a little thing we do.
Yep. And she'll be able to pass that on to her children. So that's really, really beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's really cool. Have you guys got any questions that you want to ask me?
No.
The Star Wars thing again, what was that? That was to relate to
So
a situation where, did you say they were with me while that was happening?
no, so they wanted to acknowledge that particular image because it's important to you. So who is the person that you connect to that?
Yeah, I don't want to say on the pod, but
Okay.
yeah, there's a person there.
Yeah. So what do you want to know about them, or like what's the connection there that you can say, or you can turn it off and we can.
No, it's all right. I just need to let it go.
Yeah. Okay. So that pertains to the relationship stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good. Okay. So that's like that other little like validation about all the stuff that we talked about. So it's just like a tick the box
Yep.
kind of thing. You're on the right path.
Okay.
Okay. It's hard, but you'll be okay with that. And there is this whole thing coming through with this next year with you, Delby, about a lesson of abundance.
Okay.
Okay. Now, to clarify that, it's the understanding and the learning that what you give your energy grows, and that there needs to be an equal flow of energy. So it's that chat about the whole like potential for burnout again. Because if you put your energy into something and you don't get anything back, that's when burnout happens.
Right.
We literally had this chat
Yeah.
fucking an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please know that this is important for you this year.
Yeah.
You must prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
You'll not miss out on anything that's meant for you.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
And I mean, that pertains to all of us, but it's especially relevant with you because quantity doesn't equal quality. And you're moving into a time and space in your career and in your life where you can be more picky now.
Cool.
But that feels a little bit uncomfortable at first.
Definitely. Yeah.
But that's how we go from where we're at to where we want to be.
Yeah.
We've got to be a little bit more, not unachievable, but a little bit more, I'm trying to think of the correct term that I'm looking for here. Harder to get.
Less available. Less is more.
Thank you. That's
Which
the
is
word
what I
that
said to you.
Yeah.
And
Thank
then
you.
what I said to you before the pod, if you take away all that mess and put a little bit of extra energy into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even the Rainer massage, she said my third eye was too open and everyone sucks from me and I'm giving too much out.
Yeah.
So like, shut off. Less is more. Focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have, I guess, two questions. One was
Sure.
with my uncle because
Yeah.
I never got to meet him.
Yeah.
There were Mum feels like there might have been a bit of weird circumstances around how he passed. Is there anything that you picked up on or anything that he's
Sure. Let me see. If he shows me something, I'll pass
Yeah.
it to you.
like conspiracy sort of vibes?
I'm just going to see if he'll show me how he passed.
Yeah.
Would you understand his passing was quite a shock?
Yep.
Okay, because I'm trying to get him to show me more and he's just gone like this. So that's my sign for here 1 minute and not the next.
Yep.
He also wants me to acknowledge, did he have like some dodgy people around him at the time?
Apparently, that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to. We're trying to suss with Mum.
I can't see the correlation of how at this point, but I do want to acknowledge the involvement of these people at the end of his life. Okay. That is important here, which means, and I'm not saying they are responsible for, but I'm saying they were involved in the circumstance. Okay.
Created the environment.
Well,
Does that make sense to you?
I definitely get the reference. My mum would know more, but
yeah. I'm just seeing if he's going to show me anything else on this for just a second here. And it was him that had the connection to the motorbikes, wasn't it, that we talked about?
yeah, I think so. I think he used to tinker.
Yeah. Have you also been on like a motorbike ride or something recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the deal with that? Because he's like, talk about this. Oh,
Yeah.
So what happened there?
I can't say on the pod, but yeah. So
Yep.
Okay.
that's definitely the reference.
Okay. The reason why I'm talking about this and the connection to you with it as well is he wants you to know that he was with you when that happened.
Amazing. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really important. Something that he does keep referencing for me here, and I'm not sure exactly where to place this, so please chat to Mum. Was there an involvement of medication with him at the end of his life?
Okay, I'll have to ask because I don't know.
Like, to clarify, taking too much of or changing of like medication?
No, not that I'm aware of, but I can check.
Because there's something with like he's showing me a pill bottle.
Right. Okay.
So whether that has a different like reference for him, I'm not sure. But there's something here with that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he was apparently drunk driving and the car crashed, but I don't think he ever did any of that. But I can ask Mum. So.
Okay.
Whether that is in pertain or in reference to like substances, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or if that behaviour was out of the norm for him,
Right.
whether he was prescribed a new medication before this happened, I'm honestly not sure how that connects.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would be worth mentioning.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I can check. Yeah.
I have to wrap this up now.
Alright,
I literally
cool.
have to be home in 25 minutes. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
But sorry about that.
Yeah. Surprised my nonna didn't come through. She was the one that was always like, "Where do you been today? Did we lost you?"
Yeah.
She will always be there, but
Yeah.
remember how I said that you'll hear from who you need to hear from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just open to whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because I've always thought my uncle was like my guide, even though I don't
Yeah.
know him. I've always sort of felt his energy, and whenever I'm in trouble, I always pray to him.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's very much there with you.
yeah.
right. Well, I can't even do intro, so we'll,
all
mate. Thank you so
Thanks
much
heaps, yeah.
for
So
Appreciate
coming
it.
on, and
Thanks for
I do apologise for it just being an abrupt finish to that.
It's okay.
like that.
Yes,
That's what the snap was.
but anything you want to quickly
Yeah.
plug before we finish up?
Or share.
I think I just encourage you guys to chat to the family and see how the information pertains, and it would be interesting to come back on or just like you two just have a chat about that, because it's the flow-on effect from the messages that is always so interesting to see. But thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Been awesome.
A lot of those things for me were very bang on.
Yours were all
specific.
spot on.
Yeah,
The thing is,
specific.
because I'm not super close with a lot of my past.
Yeah.
Like my nonno spoke very
Yeah.
broken English,
Yeah.
and my uncle I never got to meet. So it's like,
But that's why they give you the information. And I talked about this earlier, so that you can go and validate that with your family, but it also validates them for them.
yeah, it'd be interesting to find out about this leather watch.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that. But
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thanks,
Again,
heaps.
apologies that we just got to finish up. But yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks,
Take
heaps,
care.
TJ.
Thank you.
All right.
Cool.
Hey, Root.